Better splendens.
Hold up. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Come on. Come on. Ah, yes. God damn it, I'm good at this fucking game. Curveball. Oh, it's a 2-star. It's a 2-star. It's a fucking 2-star. All right. Garbage fucking Pokemon. Man, oh man. What a day. What a day. Welcome back to stream, my friends. Welcome back to the VOD. It was garbage, Nix. It was garbage. It's a cutie fly, so realistically, how good can it be? But hey, it is the first day of the Zarude research, which cost me $10. Was it $10 well spent? We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't mind spending a little bit of money on Pokemon Go every month because it makes going out more fun for me. All right. Listen, this might sound sad, but it makes me a little bit more excited to go to the gym in the mornings because my gym has like a couple of Pokestops in it and around it. And I go there every morning. I put my little auto catch thingy on. I get my Pokestops. I do my thing and I check in between sets. I'll see what kind of Pokemon I got. You know, it's fun. I don't care. I don't care what people say. Mock me if you will. That's actually, I deserve it. That's fine. No, it's man. All right, but hey, I didn't go to the gym this morning because it is a blizzard outside. I don't know if anyone else lives somewhere where it is currently blizzarding, but that is some shit right there. So there's like 2 feet of snow on the ground. And it's almost April, so I'm depressed. But hey, at least I have a D&D game to look forward to tonight because it is indeed Thursday, which is not only World Building Thursdays, but also it is D&D night for me. So I have that to look forward to, which is going to be good. And today we have a pretty deep world building stream I need to do, all right? Because I think we go every once in a while. I know it's some people's favorite streams. They're one of my favorite streams. Today we are going deep into the world building. We are going to go far off, and today is not a refinement day. Today is where we figure out those concepts that we like in fantasy, how to pull it into Eldar as a setting, what's good, what needs to be sort of redesigned, what can be redesigned, and what should be left alone. You know, what is sacred? You know, what is our fantasy axioms? So I'm looking forward to it. Today's gonna be a good day. But to start it off, Aduria, thank you for the 100 bits. You indeed cheered for the beta splendens. I'm very familiar with the common beta. I have had and kept many of them. I don't know if I have any. Wait, do you have any pictures? Because normally we rank them based off of Google image search, but let me just go into my thing. Do I have any that are Pog champion? I don't know. I don't want to. I'm gonna go quickly make a little pass here to see if we find one. Is that a beta? Is it? Is that? No, that is a. We have a pom-pom crab. Or sorry, we have a an aquarium of guppies. That's not a beta. We have a pom-pom crab. So that's not a beta. We have. What's that? What are you? Wait. Why did it open over here? We have a pom-pom crab again. God damn it. Oh, wait. Who's this? Nami. Dude, it's Nami. Look at her. Look at how cute she was. She turned so orange. It was hilarious. When I got her, she was like this dark, deep blue. But as she grew up, she started getting orange spots on her and changed completely into an orange sort of koi calico thing. It was really cool. Who else do I have? Was this Banks? I think this was Banks. I think this is Banks before we bought Banks. I don't remember. But Banks went and got super orange, super dark, super colorful. Once you get beta into a large tank and feed them well, they tend to, their color really pops out. So I'm a big beta enjoyer on the fish scale. Here's the thing, I do have to rate them lower because they're not very impressive. They're just little guys. So as Fishy would say. I can't say that they are the best fish out there. They don't have giant teeth, but you can train them. And I did train a beta to jump through my fingers once. So I'm gonna give them a maybe an abnormally high rating, maybe higher than people would think. But I think for today's fish meta, I'm gonna give them like a 9.4. Yeah, I think a 9.4. Oh, is this one? Hold on, who's this? Oh yeah, remember when I said that Nami started getting orange? Look at her little orange. Look at her little orange starting to pop up there, man. She was a good girl. She lived for a long time actually. That was a great fish. Yep, 9.4, maybe 9.5. I think that's probably safe. That's where I'm happy to land for the beta Splendid. But what a great meta for today, man. You made my day, Derek. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. You got this. Thank you, Ashley. I'm gonna try to catch the root if I can. We'll see. I don't know. There's not a lot of Pokemon here. I need to do some researches. So, oh wait, there's Bulbasaurs. Wait, I need to catch my Bulbasaurs. Hold up, because I need to get the Mega Venusaur that is out in raids as of now. Because I don't have a Mega Venusaur. So. Oh, fuck yeah. God damn it.
This
so good at this game.
For the day. Significantly less cool
Right.
Paracharodon Inisi.
Paracharodon Inisi. What the fuck is that? This is the weirdest intro I've done in a while. Going straight into the meta. Oh, the Neon Tetra. You know what? Here's the thing. I love Tetras. But I'm gonna rate this a little bit lower than you'd think. I have had and kept many Neons. They're bitches. They're angry. They nip fins. I don't keep them with betas anymore. Now the Neon Tetra, I'm gonna rate at a 7.3, but the more superior Cardinal Tetra, you'll notice that they have a full belly of red instead of just the front, and they get a little bit bigger. So I would rate the Neon Tetra like a 7.2, 7.3. The Cardinal will be an 8.2 or an 8.3. It gets a full point above the Neon because they're good boys. So thanks, man. Thanks for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. Is it World of Warcraft or Hearthstone outside? It is. Man, that's miserable. It's just. Which game is sadder right now? Because whatever that game is outside, it is. Oof. Dude, it looks like it is like a January morning or whatever with a bad snowstorm. We actually get more snow where I live in like March typically because it's warmer. So in January it gets down to like -40 where I live ish. It's like average -20 something, but it gets down super cold. and it can't snow when it's that cold. I don't know if people knew that. This is like a thing that are maybe some of our American enjoyers or Southern European enjoyers don't know, but actually, yeah, it can't snow when it's too cold. The sky just freezes up. So when it warms up a bit in March, then that is when it snows. We played Pokemon Go in Miami. Some guy started criticizing us for not enjoying the outside, and I was like, "What do you think we're even outside?" Yeah, dude, come on. I don't look. I like, you know, going for a long walk and hatching an egg in Pokemon Go or something, spending Pokestops. I like playing the game. It makes going outside more interesting and fun for me. And you can criticize it and say like, "Oh well, hey, you should just be enjoying the outside, enjoying the air, enjoying the whatever." Dude, man. Do you know how hard it was to try and get me, you know, out of my cave to go outside to begin with? If I'm gonna enjoy outside more by playing a game that involves going outside, then I'm gonna do that and not worry about it. But I have gotten similar criticisms before. I get hit by an old person. Well, not hit by, but I got hit by the old "What are you doing, son?" by an old couple when I was on my phone, walking through a little path. You know, and they're like, "What are you doing, son?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just doing a little thing on my phone." They're like, "Well, you should put that away. It's not good for you. You should enjoy the bounty of God's green earth." And I was like, "Wow, it's a lot of bounty." I'm enjoying it whilst on my phone because I have two choices. I have enjoying my phone inside or enjoying my phone outside. Which would you prefer? All right, that's what I thought. Good, have a good day, man. See you later. So yeah, I have received a similar criticism before, and it's weird, but maybe I don't know, maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something to being outside, not having your phone with you. I'm certainly not at the point yet where I'm willing to do that. So, and not because I can't get off social media or whatever, but I don't know. I just enjoy playing Pokemon Go. I enjoy it when I'm outside. It's fun, you know. And I'll go to the mall and walk around. This really big mall. It's in sort of the shape of it's kind of a ring, right? So you can walk around the whole thing and not have to go back and forth or whatever. And I'll do a couple laps around there. A lap is about 1 kilometer, I think. It's a big fuck you mall. It's one of the biggest ones in Canada. And so you do a couple laps of that mall, you're doing some serious steps for the day. Like it's legit. I don't actually know how long it is, but I should calculate that out one of these days. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna do that. When it gets warmer, I'm gonna go to the mall with Ella. The problem is we can't go to the mall as much because we have Una now, and so we don't go out as much as we used to because we have a dog with anxiety. So that's not good. We need to fix that. But yeah, I like playing Pokemon Go in the malls on like special raid days. So this Saturday is the Groudon Primal raid day, and I'm tempted to go out to the mall, man, and catch some Groudons. I am. And then at the end of the month, on March 31st and 32nd or whatever, there's Shadow Mewtwo raids, and I am missing Mewtwo from my Pokedex. He's the only Pokemon I don't have for my 151 Kanto Platinum badge. So I'm gonna go get him. I don't care. I'm going to the mall. I'm gonna go find Mewtwo raid. I'm gonna sit there because it's Shadow raid. You can't remote raid it. I'm gonna sit there and wait for people, and wait for a group that comes to do the raid, and then I'm gonna get me a Shadow Mewtwo. So. Not enough water in the air, too cold. Air is too dense to hold water. Exactly. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. When it gets to, but like what happens sometimes, it'll warm up for a week or whatever, snow like shit in January, and then get back down to -40, and that's the real killer is when it does that in the winter. So just go deep lore of what you're doing for your phone when they say stuff like that. Yeah, I should just explain to them exactly like, well, you see, sir, I'm catching a cutie fly because I need more fairy Pokemon, part of my fairy Pokemon badge, so I can get a higher catch percentage, so that when I go and do a Tapu Koko raid, I have a higher catch chance of getting a legendary Tapu Koko, so that I don't miss out on getting the Alolan legendary. So you see, I have to upgrade my badge from silver to gold, so I need to catch at least 35 more cutie flies while I'm out on this walk to be on par for when the Tapu Koko releases next month. Now I'll just wait. I'll just wait and stare at them like they should know what I'm talking about. Like, are you also catching cutie flies out today to make sure you get your Tapu Koko? You know, dude. It is always the old people. What's up, Mel? Malls make more sense when you step outside because between stores you get frostbite. Yeah, the outside malls, I ain't about that. I ain't about that. The outside mall, nope. No, we have a couple of those in city where I grew up and close where I live, and that is not good. I am an indoor mall enjoyer. You go and you park underground, and you don't have to wear a jacket because it sucks, dude. It sucks if you have to park outside ever. Like, you know what the true like class distinguisher between people in where I live is how clean your car is. Is like, do you have to park outside or do you have a garage? Do you have an underground parkade? You know, so if you like where I live, you can park in a garage or whatever, and you get your nice warm garage, your nice warm car. You drive to the mall in your nice warm whatever, and then you go park in the nice warm underground parking at the mall, and then you don't have to wear a jacket. It's beautiful. It's -40 out, but you don't have to walk around the mall carrying a giant fucking parka, which I do sometimes. But yeah. Do you have a big Pokemon group that meets up there? I think there's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple in the city. I don't know much about them, and they meet at a place typically. From what I know, the Pokemon's Go sort of like community hub is a place called Prince's Island in Calgary. So I'd have to drive into the city to get part of that, but it's in Calgary where I grew up. There's a little island that's a little park on the north side of downtown on the river, and they go there. The problem is getting downtown in Calgary, Alberta is absolutely miserable. It is absolutely miserable. The parking's expensive, the traffic sucks. And then what you have to do is you have to pay for parking, or you have to go and take what we call the C train. I don't know why we call it a C train, but it's the train. We call it the C train for some reason. It's like a technical something or another, but regardless, take the train down to downtown. Get off there. Sure, you can do that, but the problem is the train is where you go if you want to get stabbed or step in feces. So I don't take the train. So Calgary, I don't know. Actually, what is C train? What Calgary C train? What does C in C train mean? Maybe it is just Calgary train. I don't know. Previously branded as C train is a light rail system, semi metro. What does the C train even mean? Or we call it the LRT. Ooh, yeah, we also call it the LRT here. The LRT stands, I didn't know this. LRT stands for Light Rail Rapid Transit, LRRT, or just shortened to the LRT, which is what we call it too. Yeah, sorry, LRT is the thing that stands for something. Yeah, because people say, oh, you're gonna hop on the LRT. It's like, what? What's an LRT, bro? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's right. So we have an LRT, which we call the C train, which is just a train. So that's where you go if you want to get hurt or harassed. Last time I got on the C train was with Ella, and I had to threaten an elderly man with physical violence. The time before that, I remember this. I've been on the train 3 times in the last probably 15 years. The most recent time I did threaten an elderly man with physical violence on the train. Anyway, I had to. The second time was when I was going to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo with my friends. We decided we didn't want to park. We were going to take the train instead, and we got aggressively encouraged to buy someone's mixtape. So that sucked. And the time before that, I was on my way to a GLB teen youth group meeting, which stood for gay, lesbian, and bisexual. This is before we added the T. This is like 15 years ago. And also we had the L and the G reversed, which is a thing of unit. That's how long ago that was. And so we were going downtown on that, and I almost sat on a needle. So I'm good with the C train. I'm super good not taking the train anymore. I'm just aces, just driving everywhere. So the World War I veteran, are you also catching cutie flies? Yeah, exactly, dude. Retirement homes for our generation is gonna be cool. Dude, we talked about this the other day, Cow. retirement homes for millennials and like young Gen Xers and like, you know, older Gen Zers, whatever. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna play so many games. We're gonna play in VR. It's gonna be, dude. Oh man, anime body pillows and shit in retirement homes. I don't think I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I never once ridden a train in America. I rode like 3 trains a day on the Japan trip. Oh yeah, the train in Japan is offensively good. It's upsettingly good, you know? And what I love about Japan on the train is the cultural pressure not to be annoying. You're not supposed to eat on the train. You're not supposed to talk on the train. You're not supposed to interact with anybody on the train. You're not supposed to listen to loud music. You're supposed to just try and be as inconspicuous as possible on the train. And I love that. It's such a jarring experience coming back from Japan. Last time I came back from a trip, it was like we flew into Vancouver and then into Calgary and then went home. But when we flew into Vancouver, we flew back and it was like, okay, so you know, you're on the trip with all these Japanese people and whatever, and you find the Japanese airline, you go and you land Vancouver, and you know everybody's super nice and whatever, and you get into Vancouver, it's very loud, and you're like, okay, that's fine. But then I got onto the plane from Vancouver to Calgary, and as soon as we landed in Calgary, this like old woman pulled out her phone and just started like loudly telling her like son or niece or some shit that she was like, you know, ready to get picked up and her plane landed, and then started talking about her trip to like Mexico or some shit, and she was just being super loud and obnoxious. And I was just like, oh, that's right, I'm back in North America. God, okay, that's right, I'm back in NA. I forgot. Okay, yep, I'm home. People are loud and annoying. Yeah, I'm super home. That's great. It you know, you get used to it obviously, but it's just jarring to be back to that when you're somewhere where everyone's so quiet and polite and, you know, well mannered and stuff. Kind of experience stuff like that just to know what it's like firsthand, you know. Crazy for me was this guy asking me to buy him a pack of cigarettes from his car, body half way out his window. Yeah, I don't know. I live in a very safe city, and I grew well. Calgary's very safe for even Canadian standards. So I grew up in a very safe city. There's like one part of Calgary you kind of don't go to, you know, after dark. I would feel comfortable basically in our sketchiest neighborhood. I would feel comfortable walking around midday. Walking around at night, probably it's gonna be okay, but you know, maybe not if you're a woman alone or some shit like that. But you know, just regardless, it's like pretty safe. But for some reason, the C train is like where all like the train system is where all the sketchy shit happens, and I don't know why. But train stations, especially the ones downtown, and train stations even up here or up where yeah, okay. I'm thinking bus stations around here are like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's pretty sketchy, but not that bad. The DC, the metro is just commuters who hate life or tourists who are way too nosy. That's great, honestly. I think it's great to live somewhere with a lot of tourists, because if you live there, you are so not like if you're a local, you are not the target of a lot of petty crime if you live somewhere with tourists. Oh yeah, it's great, man. You know, I think it sounds like fantastic to live somewhere like Orlando or Washington or something. I don't know. I guess it would probably get annoying if you had. There's one. So right around where I live, there's lots of like mountain towns with lots of tourists in it, and you know, it's fine. I don't mind them. They're all very. It's nice to be around people who are excited to be there. You know, growing up in the big city in Calgary was like people like nobody wants to be there, man. No, everybody's just trying to get to work and then come home, and you know, there's nothing great about living in Canada in most places. It's just kind of like big cities you've been to, any other big city, right? There's not a lot of history or culture. There's just like, you know, living somewhere where I think there'd be a lot of tourism or a reason for people to go there would be kind of fun. But I don't know, maybe we get old. I'll never know. I'll just live in the mountains, just in my secluded little mountain home, staring at the giant Canadian Rockies all day, wondering why I don't ski. So don't go to San Francisco then. A place has turned into a shithole. Oh yeah, I hear awful, terrible things about San Francisco and a lot of California cities in general. I've been to San Francisco once. I was in the airport. I stayed in the airport, and we had a couple hours to kill before we had to fly down to Santa Ana. And Ella was like, should we go outside and go see the city of San Francisco? And I was like, you know what? I trust people. I trust everyone who has said I should avoid San Francisco like the actual fucking plague. So, no, I never set foot into the San Francisco greater city. Seems awful, to be honest. I'll admit, I don't like to I don't like to stereotype. You know, every time I bring up Texas, somebody thinks they're being clever, being like, "Oh, a place is a shithole." I'm like, "Why?" Like, because they wear cowboy hats. And it's like, do you know where I live? Like, I grew up in, like, you're not gonna convince me that some place with ranching cultures are bad just because of that, you know. But and I try not to shit on California either too much, because there's lots of great Californians and lots of great places in California. But it does seem like there's a lot of problems with the cities, and maybe they're better to avoid. So, like, I don't think I'd go up to LA now. LA used to be different, even like 10 years ago. You know, 10 years ago, when the first time I went to Los Angeles, it felt different than the most recent times I've been there. You know, I think I'm probably good. You know, and if I ever go make it down to BlizzCon again, or down to Disneyland, or that like southern tip of sort of the greater LA area where you get Anaheim and Irvine and all those places, I probably don't think I'd go north to LA like for any reason, really. I don't think you convinced me to do that. So I think I'll sort of lore timeline of if you did set one foot in San Francisco. Oh yeah, they have like Star Wars theory videos about that. Like, what if Anakin likes sand kind of thing, but for me. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I should make an alternate timeline for that. All right, so post is up in the Discord for requests for tomorrow. If anyone has any requests they would like to add to it, I will be doing a random roll through it. But what I've realized as of yesterday is that unless I like add the Discord for it, which I don't really want to do, I'm probably not going to get many people that like know about it as I do on Twitter. So I'm probably going to do the requests going forward. You know, this week was fun. We did it on Discord. But going forward, I'm probably going to do them on Twitter exclusively. I know a lot of people don't have Twitter or don't like Twitter, and occasionally someone will get curmudgeonly and bitch about that, about how like, oh, well, I'd like to get a request, but I don't want to download Elon app. And as much as I'd like to help, I don't think I care anymore. I think I am fine gatekeeping, you know, requests like that to Twitter, because it's just easier for me and more people will see it. And the Discord might work in the future, but not, people aren't checking like stream topics or whatever religiously. So I don't know. You just have a crazy story of stepping in poop, kicking a needle, and then stepping back into the airport, probably. I've heard really weird, like really bad stuff about San Francisco. So I don't know. I've heard a lot of firsthand. It's like one of those things where you hear a bad story about a place, you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, you know, there's a good, like, I don't like to judge anywhere. People say a good or bad thing about any location. I don't make a judgment about that. I'm very hard to convince that something is like good or bad inherently when one person's like, oh my god, don't go to this place. I'm like, okay, like whatever, and your one opinion, great. But I just keep getting opinions about San Francisco being a place that you should avoid, like actual bubonic plague is present there. So I don't know. It's like 1 point. What is it? 1 point on a graph is a single point. Multiple points on a graph is a trend. Is that the saying? I don't know how it goes specifically, but yeah, it seems like San Francisco is not a great place to be. So I don't know. It'd be fun to see. There's a lot of history there, a lot of culture that seems really cool. I'd love to see, you know, I grew up watching Full House, so I naturally have because I grew up in the 90s, I naturally have a positive view of San Francisco, right? Of street cars and the Tanners or whatever. I don't fucking know. Curious how many requests were there on Twitter. I don't know. I don't know if there were requests after, but I think I rolled like a D10 or something like that for it, or whatever. I asked Ella to do it for me, so I didn't actually do the rolls. I was like, hey, can you roll the numbers on Twitter and then tell me which people got it? And so she did. But I think it was about 10 or so. And you know, as of yesterday, I think there was like one real one and one or two real ones and one joke or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe there'll be more, because I put a part of my going live announcement, and then Discord's fine, but maybe not. Either way, no, I'm not looking for there to be like a ton of requests. I just want people to see it, and if they want something to know where it is and where to go and whatnot. That's all I'm looking for. So what's in the Discord? The requests that we're talking about, the requests are for our Friday sketches. I'm doing character requests for NPCs and stuff, if people want, but I'll probably be doing them on Twitter going forward, because yeah, Discord's a little bit more difficult to have that being done. Once is a fluke, twice is a trend. Yeah, there was something about points on a graph or whatever, but I like that. Once is a fluke, twice is a trend. 3 times is we're ready to write some laws about it. Don't go to Detroit either, I think, or Baltimore outside tourist areas. I see, like, look, I could give you an overview of like a completely honest vibe check from Canadians for like, from what I have heard, an anecdotal vibe check for American cities. It's like, what are American cities known for? Don't go to Los Angeles. It's too dangerous. San Diego's should be pretty cool. I'm trying to like think about going like west to east. Portland is a shithole and too dangerous. Anywhere in like the sort of the Midwest is usually pretty chill. Chicago, a lot of people think Chicago is way too dangerous to go to. Detroit seems like it's too dangerous and like overrun by crime. Baltimore seems like it's overrun by crime. Boston seems like it's okay, but people are going to be mean. New York seems like it's going to be a shithole, but decent. Washington D.C. seems like it's just going to be boring. Where else are big cities? People, what are we? Oh, say everyone here thinks that St. Louis is a place where you go if you have a death wish. Kansas City is a great place to go if you're looking for nothing interesting but football and barbecue, which is God bless America. Where else? Nashville is a great place to go for culture. What other big cities are there? Louisiana, anywhere in Louisiana or Mississippi, like New Orleans or whatever, is gonna be dangerous but fun. Florida is great. No one has a bad opinion up here about Florida. A lot of Canadians go to Florida for the winter. They're called snowbirds. Phoenix, Arizona seems really, really nice. Austin, people don't really have much of an opinion about Austin because there's not really a like, people don't go to Austin, if you know what I mean. Like, people don't have like a, oh, I went to Austin, it was so cool or so dangerous or whatever. Austin, the only thing a lot of people know about is that, like, either you're in the younger like podcasting streaming sphere, like, and you know, like Joe Rogan and Chris Williamson and Asmongold and the OTK, and you know about like all the cultural people that moved to Austin or whatever, and then it's like, okay, cool, that's neat, but like there's no reason to go there. But people don't really have an opinion on Austin besides, I think, South by Southwest is a thing that happens in Austin. I'm not sure. Houston and Dallas seem like they're boring cities. Safe, but ultimately, what's the point? Where is there on East Coast? Bullshit. I don't think there's anywhere else that's like on the East Coast that really matters. Hi. Atlanta, people have a really negative opinion that's really dangerous. Where else? Hawaii, yeah, right, they go to Hawaii as well. Hawaii is everybody has a positive opinion on. Salt Lake City, people think is gonna be culty. Maybe it is, I don't know. Like, these are all just like cursed. Like, New Orleans is good food, very dangerous. That's like the general like you go to New Orleans if you're the kind of person that's willing to go to like Haiti or like, I don't know, like Bulgaria or somewhere that's kind of like dangerous but also is like has good food and you're kind of okay taking a risk, you know. So you know, it's just like there's like places that you go that's like, yeah, I'm feeling a little adventurous, I'm gonna go to like Cambodia. It's like, yeah, it's pretty dangerous, you'll probably be okay, but the food's good, you know. That's kind of a lot of the opinions that a lot of Canadians have about where else are people that have really strong opinions about in Canada. There's a lot of cities that just don't even exist on the map for Canadians that they would just never go to. People up here love Las Vegas. It's like dirty and grungy if you want to be dirty and grungy, but if you have like, if you do old people Las Vegas is great. I like Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas many times and I actually really like the city. I love it because I do it in a specific way. I don't do dirty Vegas or like young person Vegas or clubs or whatever. I do old person Vegas. And when you settle into seniors Vegas, it's actually really great. And I love it. Where else in America that people have strong up here have strong opinions about? I can't think of anywhere. There's like not a lot in the central US that people like up here go to for like many reasons. Yeah, I think that basically covers it more or less, you know. San Francisco's a shithole. Yep. No, those are pretty accurate. Are they? Because I don't know. Here's the thing, like people think, I don't know if it's true, but like people in Canada, whenever they bring up statistics for like crime or like gun crime, everyone's like, oh yeah, don't go to Chicago, don't do it, you're gonna get shot. But everyone that I know from Chicago is like, oh yeah, there's places you don't go, but there's like places you don't go in any city, you know. And so it's like, you don't know, right? You never know. And I'm not willing to have one person be like, you should never go to San Francisco, it's a shithole. It's like, okay, well, I'm sorry you don't like San Francisco, but then everyone I know says it. It's like, oh wait, I don't know, maybe the city needs to figure some shit out. So yeah, I don't know. I've been to Atlanta for a weekend. I swear to God, though, I had the best lasagna of my life there. Hell yeah, dude. I want to go to Atlanta just to see the Georgia Aquarium. I like aquariums. I like fish. I want to go see the aquarium. Well, that's it. There's nothing else to go see in Atlanta. Because they can't even keep a hockey team. Oh, Seattle. I forgot Seattle. Seattle doesn't. I forgot Seattle, because Seattle doesn't exist to Canadians because it's just worse Vancouver, is the opinion of most Canadians. Just why go to Seattle when you have Vancouver, you know? But it seems fine. Like but the one thing about Seattle that no one has, that actually is a good thing about Seattle, is it doesn't have a bad reputation for being dangerous. Now I do think that a lot of Canadians have an overestimation of like dangerosity of cities. Like it's dramatic. Like some Europeans that I've had in my stream over the years have been like, oh my God, I'm never going to America, I'm so scared. It's like, bro, you be fine. You're not gonna go to America and someone's gonna like march up with a fucking M4 and be like, hey, what's up? Here, take this for your trip. Like, chill. It's safe. Probably safest place you can be. It's fine. But there are certain views of cities that I think so. But Seattle, no one has a negative view of Seattle being a dangerous city. So good for Seattle, I guess. You know, good for them. But the problem is then Seattle is just worse Vancouver, so no one wants to fucking go there. Oh, that's fine, man. I'm sorry. Did someone say Haiti had turned to cannibalism? Jesus, I don't know. Fuck. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know much about that area of the world, is, you know. But I just had some friends that went there recently on a mission, and they built a church. So good for them. They made home all right. First thing here when I joined the stream, I see how it is. Wait, what was? What was I shit talking when you? No, video. I was talking about the Canadian impression of most American cities. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. It's just with most people from outside anecdotally see of when they think of a lot of American cities. You know, I could also go into European cities, but the problem is Europeans would not like what I have to say about what Canadians think about European cities, because it's mostly the same thing. Beautiful, good food, dirty. That's what most Canadian. You pick any European city. Ooh, Brussels, London, Paris, Barcelona, Bucharest. It's like beautiful, good food, kind of dirty, like pretty dirty, you know. So that's, yeah, Europeans don't like it when I and look, it's not. It might be true. It might not be true. But I'm just saying it's what a lot of the perspective over here is. So just spit it out his face. Listen, they have an aquarium. They're doing better than most places. Feels great. Summer, winter in Seattle is just miserable. At least it's green, right? I live in Chicago. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Chicago. Well, here's the thing. Like, yeah. So most, like, I know. Here's the thing. I know St. Louis is more dangerous than Chicago as far as crime stats go. But people in Canada have an impression that Chicago is the worst. If you ask Canadians what's the most dangerous American city on the street, I think most Canadians would say Chicago, because we get a lot of like headlining news of, like, you know, dangerosity of Chicago. But you never know, man. Like, here's the thing. I don't think you can judge a city or a place or whatever, a country or a region or a state, all by like the good or bad things that happens in there. And I'm always very reluctant to do that. There's a lot of people that are very tribal and territorial. They're like, oh, I'm from California, so I hate Texas. And people are like, I'm from Texas, so I hate everything west of me. And it's like, okay, guys, chill. Like, it's probably pretty fine out there. People are more similar than they are different, and I think that's always important to remember, you know. So name one big city that doesn't have an aquarium. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. population 1.5 million humans. One of the biggest cities in Canada does not have an aquarium. Nope. That's why I go to Vancouver. Vancouver's great. Vancouver has a beautiful aquarium. I love it. Vancouver's fantastic. You know, Calgary doesn't have an aquarium. Edmonton doesn't have an aquarium. Winnipeg doesn't have an aquarium. I can't speak about American cities. Winnipeg, actually, wait, does Winnipeg have an aquarium? They might. Winnipeg might have an aquarium. They might have one. Toronto does, I believe. Ottawa, Ottawa doesn't have anything, Thorkin. Ottawa doesn't have anything, though. Ottawa has, like, a building and a lawn. And that's it. That's all Ottawa has. And a really cool SF base. So I could entirely be that I'm desensitized to what could possibly be perceived as dangerous in an urban environment just due to proximity. The real litness must be somewhere in the middle. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't avoid any cities that, because we're talking video about how San Francisco is the one place that carries a bad enough reputation that everyone says I should avoid. So yeah, I probably won't be going to San Francisco, but either way, man. Either way, we gotta do some map making today. We gotta do some deep world building. We gotta get into it. So just going here to Monterey Bay. What is a Monterey Bay? Is that a Pokemon? Monterey Bay. Monterey Bay is indeed a city or township that is south of Santa Cruz and the Bay Area. By the way, I'm sorry, Bay Area people. Everything in this area is San Francisco. If you try and like correct someone, they're like, "Oh, actually, I'm from Berkeley," or "Actually, I'm from San Jose." No one's gonna care. You're from San Francisco. I'm sorry. I also hate to say for our Eastern Americans, East Coast ones, everything here is New York. Long Island, New York. New Jersey, New York. Upstate New York, New York. Fucking down to Philadelphia, bonus New York. Like, that's the opinion here, man. You have everything over here is basically New York. People don't have an idea of how far away things are, or whatever. You have Boston, you have New York, and then you have Florida. That's like the impression people have. So just saying that's what it is. Calgary only build an aquarium if they could put cows and oil in it. True. We do love our cattle industry and oil. So type in DC aquarium, get the National Aquarium in Baltimore. That doesn't count. I don't know. Baltimore is a different city, isn't it? Most of the cities are, as long as you are around large groups of people and traveling the touristy areas during the daytime, usually fine. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Downtown, most places, touristy areas, probably totally safe. There's like, you forgot Myrtle Beach? Oh, fuck. Yeah, dude, I want to go to Myrtle Beach so bad one day. I want to go to Myrtle Beach on spring break. I want to see how people from Virginia do spring break. If I don't see at least one guy's butthole on the beach, I'm gonna be disappointed. So, I'm like 39 miles from San Francisco. Same thing. You have San Francisco, and then you have Los Angeles. If you ask people where Disneyland is, they'll say Los Angeles. If you ask people where what's the, hold on, I just blanked out a city name. San Diego. I forgot San Diego's name. You have like you have San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, and that's it. So why do people differentiate LA and Anaheim? I don't know. It's the same fucking thing. So used to go to Myrtle Beach as a kid. It really went downhill. It really does bum me out. Really? Was Myrtle Beach ever like a, because Myrtle Beach is known for being kind of the like trailer trash, you know, spring break location, whatever, which might be true, might not be true. I don't know if it's a deserved reputation, but I've heard it's where all like the biker gangs go, and that might have impacted the. I have a friend from who lives in that area, who lives in one of the Carolinas. Which one is it? Which Carolina? Hold on. South Carolina, in that one. And she told me about stories of going to Myrtle Beach and avoiding biker gangs. So who knows, man? It's probably safe. It's probably fine. Ain't bad. Went 3 times. Damn.
Damn, well, there you go. There you go, man. But then again, I also have an opinion where I don't mind Las Vegas. Some people hate Las Vegas. They can't stand the city. I think it's fine. I think Las Vegas is an exceptional city if you're willing to go out for dinner most nights. You know, if you don't want to eat buffets, it's pretty bad. It's like food poisoning. But if you're willing to do like nice Las Vegas, it's a pretty good time. So, the Monterey Bay Aquarium is amazing. They have a kelp garden. You can also watch a live feed of a few of their exhibits. Ooh. I like aquariums, man. The thing that I'm most excited to do in Maui this year when I go to visit family is I'm gonna try and sneak away from the fam to go to the Maui Aquarium because it's beautiful. It's got fish, and I like the fish, and you can touch you can give the little rays a pet. No, I like the aquarium's really good there. I would travel for aquariums. I could be convinced to go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Here's the thing, Oda. I have heard of the city of Monterey Bay, but I couldn't tell you where or in what context. But when you say Monterey Bay Aquarium, that's how I've heard of it. So if that's enough for it to be well known for a Canadian, then apparently that's gonna be a pretty good aquarium. So, but yeah, Garth has told me many times that the Georgia Aquarium is a delight. So I'm also tempted to go to Atlanta, but travel is too expensive. So I could do an ElDaraCon tour where I do a speaking tour across the US. So I need to pick venue dates. Tickets are going to be around $3,000 each, so that I have enough money to fly there and stay 2 nights to then go see the aquarium. So we'll see how that speaking tour goes. People in New York just go to Florida and view vacations anywhere in between as budget options. Damn. Florida vacation spot that is now a rundown. Well, there is, so in Orc, Florida, there is a place that I call Orc, Florida. Okay. And it's right here. It's the Relic Coast Wang. Because this is where our Ducerians, which are basically my interpretation of the orcs in fantasy. So there is Orc, Florida. It's run by it's called Lem Lashir, the main sort of city, whereas Orlando would be. So it does happen. And Lem Lashir is run by the Nyathar. And the Nyathar are a species of what's the Nyathar have done? Do I have art for the Nyathar? I do, right? Alero is a Nyathar? Ooh, I forgot what the name. So they're basically cat folk. There are Mikote, right? And so the Nyathar have this city in Orc, Florida, that is a popular destination for nobility from the northern Stonemark to want to get away to. The problem is that the Red Spice Sea is known as such for the spice trade that goes through it. At the Drywind Dock specifically. And so the issue is the entire sea has fallen to piracy. So what was a beautiful, what was a beautiful destination, a resort-like area for nobility to relax and withdraw themselves from their duties, has been now overrun by pirates. And the thing is, some people might suggest it's actually better to visit now. So, yep. Some people. That's much fun at the Shed Aquarium, and half of it was shut down. What is that? Is that? I'm guessing that's Chicago, right? Finding Nemo, Dory was from that aquarium. Oh, really? Did ask some how limper looking Florida? Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what we're going for here. All right, because I had a smooth coast here when we were making the map that day. I had a smooth coast going down, like more or less smooth. And I was like, you know what this place needs? A Wang. Just like America. America could be a nice, well-rounded little, southeastern bend. But instead, they slapped a big Wang on it and said, we're calling it Florida. So I decided, you know what? If it's good enough for the United States of America, it's good enough for the Relic Coast Intel area. So that's why we have the... That's why we have the something peninsula. I don't know what to call it, but there's no runes on it or anything important. So our map today, though, that I need to do some planning for. Today, we're going to nail down ideas. We are going to commit to things, commit to names, commit to places, commit to bullshit. That's what we're doing, okay? Piracy or privateers. The Onyx Imperium has nothing to hide. No, these ones are pirates. Yeah, no. Privateers exist in the Shattered Sea. The Red Spice Sea is just full of jolly shanty singing pirates, and it's actually a pretty great place to go. So good enough is right. There you go. What is the city with where Houston would be? On the Relic Coast, Houston would be. Is that the Drywind Docks we're talking about? Is this where Houston would be? I think so, right? Map of US. Yes, because it's on the coast, right? More north. Oh, Houston would be right here at Redstone Port. Redstone Port used to be the big fancy port city that everyone went to because no one wanted to go through into the Drywind Docks because it was kind of sketchy. They wanted a port where they could have access to Coralastria and the entirety of the nomadic peoples of the Relic Coast. However, when Coralastria was built as a grand port city, people stopped going to the Redstone Port, and the Drywind Docks, which was a fortress, became the place where people would stop if they wanted to go specifically through this trade route. So yeah, that's what the Redstone Port is. It used to be, I don't know, maybe Houston's irrelevant too. I don't know. I don't know anything about American geography or economics or why, if not, Houston sucks. I don't fucking know. It's good enough for America, you can probably do it better. If it's good enough for America, could I do it better? The equivalent of America in Teleria would be like America, but better. And we have to improve it in certain ways. So like when I described the southern part of Horizon as kind of like Texas, I described it as Texas without the Boers, which is better. So yeah, there you go. I honestly think Stonemark is kind of like our Stonemark is actually, now I think about it, it is absolutely our America. Stonemark, because Stonemark is kind of the new world. Stonemark is an area, it's a newer kingdom, a newer like people. It's surrounded by coast on most sides. It has a wild lands to its north, kind of connected. It's sort of like America with a little bit of the Scandinavian geography placed into it. But yeah, do they have more freedom than America? Let's think. Probably not. I think that there's only going to be bald eagles on the western mountains, which are scuffed Rockies, by the way. So there's probably less per capita of eagles in Stonemark to the United States of America. So, because I say this knowing that most of the American eagles, like bald eagles, actually live in Canada. But since Canada is just bonus America, still counts. But even with that consideration, I think Stonemark would have fewer eagles. Different measurement units. The Stonemarkians prefer to use a cubit, weirdly. So yeah, I don't know. Houston's where all the oil flows in and out of the central US. Yeah, that's where we tried to send our oil, but people didn't like it, and now we're poor. Story of Alberta. Victoria and Corpus Christi and Glaveston are in the ports in Texas. Houston is inland a bit. Oh, I thought Houston was on the ooh, okay. I thought Houston was on the coast. Okay, my bad then. If everyone owns some type of weapon, it'll be a bow, sword, or a pocket fireball. I'd say that we have more freedom. Yeah. Definitely everyone is a sword enjoyer. So Houston's up the bay a bit. Oh, okay, all right. Never had any desire to go to Houston. I think I like Dallas though. I enjoy barbecue. I enjoy cowboy boots. I enjoy blue jeans, and I enjoy Ford Raptors. So I've been told that Dallas is the city for me. You know, my dad works in oil and gas, right? Like I'm dude. Do you know how many people in my family work in the oil and gas industry? My dad and like 3 uncles work in oil and gas. Actually, how many uncles work in oil and gas? My dad and 1, 2, 3. 3 uncles. My dad and 3 uncles all work in oil and gas. So, or have worked in oil and gas in a serious capacity. So there's that. Actually, no, 4 or 5 because they worked in. Yeah. Yeah, so I'd feel comfortable down in a place where the 2 main concerns are what you're eating for dinner and what kind of oil you just pulled out of the ground. So, you know. Taking the port is where the Port of Houston is. Oh, okay, I see. All right, that's where they. Okay, makes sense. Dallas is where you work. Fort Worth is where you live. If you have to work in Dallas, oh yeah, they're basically like connected or whatever, isn't it? I don't know. It seems like a big ass city where you can just spread out as much as you want. That's a good or bad thing. A closet Rockefeller. Man, could you imagine having that much money? Secret billionaires. Anyway, ooh, what'd I do? I fucked up. Okay, we're good. So, the central new area Corpa MTX farm. That is what this place is called. That is what our world building has led us to, is using the term central important new area Corpa MTX farm. Let us set the context of what our current project is. All right. Let us view our world map. We're gonna take a bit of an exterior view. Ooh, you know what? I need to add in the Lem Ashir Desert map. We have a finished map that we need to add in here, and we are going to do that. This is a big day. It is always a big moment when we get to add a new map onto the world map. And so, I am proud and honored to say the desert of Lem Ashir, known as by some the Old Kingdom of Kelhet, renamed by a misunderstanding by some Nyathar. Sure, there we go. How's this line up? Good enough. Nothing really lines up. There's no mountain ranges down here for me to need to line up or anything. So there it is. All right. The Old Kingdom of Kelhet, now known as the Lem Ashir Desert, is officially added, including the Ashratep runes, Ozim's tomb, the Temple of Anket, the Ring of the Old Gods, the ancient Kelhetan city of Adrashet, of course, the Red Tooth Mountains, and the Rained Wind Valley, one of the nicest places in all of Teleria. Monar, the city, the Jewel of the West, carries a very important little title here. It's the first map that has a title on it. Monar, the Jewel of the West. Also, you'll notice that there's a couple of Nyathar establishment here in Lem Ratan and Lem Elmar. There it is, man. A couple of different cities. You know, Royal Wind and Green Wharf, Port Almark, and the Dune Sea. Now, Evan, you might be asking yourself, Evan, are you making a Star Wars reference when you have a place known as the Dune Sea? Are you aware that people are going to associate it with the Dune Sea on Tatooine? Are you concerned that you are going to be accused of ripping Star Wars off? No. I'm not concerned about ripping Star Wars off. I'm not concerned about that accusation. Because I absolutely am. What are you talking about? What
Hello
are you talking
there.
about?
What we doing?
Hi, Senex. What's up? Good to see you. Thanks for a bit, Senex. We're talking about our next big world building project, okay? Because I'm taking a little bit of a break, an interlude from Horizon, because I want to go somewhere else in the world and go somewhere completely different. So before we're getting to that, we are formally adding the Lem Ashir map to the world map, which is kind of a big moment for me. It's always a big deal when we add a new map. So Lem Ashir is, it's finally there. So there we go. Is there a giant sandworms that shit out spice? Probably. I don't know. You'd have to see. Here's the thing. The Lem Ashir Desert is known as one of the most hostile locations in the entire world. No one lives here, basically, besides nomadic tribes and ancient, small, secretive groups of assassins. Going through, taking this trek through from the Shattered Sea, which this is where it is next. Taking a trek through the Shattered Sea. What is? Okay, there we go. Sorry. From the Drywind docks all the way to the Highwind Fortress is a very dangerous trek. Right? This entire area is also just flat desert, and then there's I'm not gonna make a map for this area, but there is, there's like some cities along the coast here, but this entire area is pretty dry, pretty inhospitable. But specifically this area of Old Kelhet, the Dune Sea, the Badlands. Up here, as Mrs. Storm is a Jupiter style storm that's still going on. All right, the fucking storm. Actually, does Kelhet have a, or Lemashir? Kelhet, instead of a command, did we change it? It used to have a command. Okay, I wanted to make commands for all the major World Anvil articles, but I have a World Anvil article on World Anvil, which is probably the best article I've written so far, depending on how you gauge them. In my opinion, it's the most well thought out one. But also, don't forget, I don't know how to write. I'm bad. I should feel bad. I do feel bad. I haven't eaten in 17 hours, so that's probably making me a little cranky. But hold on, I'm just loading it up. Where is the Old Kingdom of Kelhet article? They changed the okay, hold on. Articles, there we go. List. Where are my articles? Where are my articles, bro? What the fuck? Why my article's not loading? I want to link it in chat. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Busy. Thank you, Thorcut. Thanks, guys. Thank you, both of y'all. I appreciate it. There it is. Okay. Yep. There it is. It's not loading. World Devil. World. Jacob. Cow. Gimme. All right. Okay. Cool. Loaded. So yeah, there's the entire Old Kingdom of Kelhet article here. If you guys are ever curious, if you want to read about the ancient sort of Egyptian-inspired region of people love the article cow and that's steel and Atari and secondhand and Jake. Wow, thanks guys, you like the article. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's the Old Kingdom of Kelhet, has a whole lore behind it. So as Mrs. Storm is a storm that is still going on, basically. She was angry and she made a storm where she tried to murder every single person. You know? I was shown a bunch of regional maps kind of on table from the container rather than just one big old world map. Motion, I think that the world map for me is something I want to leave sort of empty a little bit. I never want to fill in every single area of the world map to a complete, very detailed degree. I will make a world map eventually, but I want to leave a lot of space because I want there to be areas where like the blue squares are potential other maps I need to make after we finish this big central one. And once I'm done and sort of content, I want to have like references to certain things of like Northern Wildlands, this area is this or that or whatever. But I want to leave it fairly open so people can go explore there and write their own stories in there if they're playing within the setting. So but yeah, if you want to read about why As Mrs. Storm is still going on and why she's still pissed off, you can do that. So, yeah, man. So that's the Lemashir Desert, and you might be wondering, the Lemashir Desert. Where have I heard that before? Didn't you just reference a location in the Relic Coast on Orc, Florida called Lemashir? I know it's super low res because the map is low res in here. Forgive me. The higher this. Okay, there you go. Lemashir. There it is. Lemashir versus Lemashir. What is Evan? Please. Your naming conventions are improper. You have failed at naming things. So, how'd that happen? I'll tell you. When the Nyathar first came to this area, they came as refugees. They came in need of a land. They were They were deposed from whatever. They were a disgraced people. They had to flee from a conflict that they lost, basically. And so they arrived in the Relic Coast. And they were met with the nomadic Ducerians, mostly Ducerian people. There are a couple of other peoples there, but it was mostly, this is kind of the homeland of the Ducerians, which are the orcs, or the orcish counterparts within Eldara. And they said to the Ducerians, hey, we would like to settle here. We are a people who are wandering now. We have no home. We have no place to call safe haven for our peoples. May we come and live amongst your people in your lands? And the Ducerian leaders, they looked at each other and they said, well, we are also nomads and we traverse our land, and you are welcome to traverse our land with us as nomads. And the Nyathar said, thank you. This is a glorious opportunity, and we will bring honor and nobility to your society with our contributions. And they did just as such. They brought the wealth of beauty and art from their culture. They brought their knowledge of unique foods and flavors from, it was a merging of two cultures in a very beautiful way. However, the Nyathar became slightly discontent with the nomadic life. They are not naturally nomads. They build grand buildings and structures, and they are builders, they're architects. And they began to say, we crave the ability to build. Like, this is not within our blood. We must find somewhere else. We must venture forth to find somewhere to build. And the Ducerians said, well, why don't you just build a grand city to the north in our lands? Why don't you just build a grand city? The Nyathar assumed that the Ducerians would be against any cities popping up because they are nomadic people. They travel between the runes, depending all these Eldari runes, these temples. They nomadically travel between all of them. And so the Nyathar said, really, you're okay with us building a city? And they said, sure, build us a city beautiful and golden that we may pilgrimage to and rest in, that is a place where we will look forward to traveling to as nomads. We are nomadic people, but we would be honored for you to build a city in our lands. And the Nyathar thought, what an amazing opportunity. And so they built the grand city of Kor Nyathar, a port that became fairly well known across the world. Kor Nyathar, Kor means like great city in the Nyathar language. They also built Andorra and a couple of other little settlements. The Ducerians and other Nyathar on their pilgrimage around the Relic Coast and through the Relic Coast would go up to the runes to the north, and they would stop at Kor Nyathar and Andorra. They loved it. They loved it so much they said, build us more cities. Like, these are grand, wonderful places. Build more cities that we may journey to in our nomadic travels. And they said, we would like to build you a city instead. We don't want to build a Nyathar city. We want to build a Ducerian city for you all to live there. And for those of you who want to live in a city, because some Ducerians liked the Nyathar idea of a city, but they didn't like the Nyathar city. It's just a little too Nyathar. So they built the Ducerians a grand city called Coralastria right here. And they said, we want to build this as a city that is a port and trade city, so that you may reach your influence out into the world, and that we may, as the denizens of the Relic Coast, find prosperity together. And they did so. Before that, though, when the Ducerians and the Nyathar were first becoming well acquainted, the Nyathar had taken a liking to this area. The climate was nice for them. They liked it. It was lots of jungles and high trees and things like that. But it wasn't a culturally important place like the Starshore Valley, which is also fucking dangerous because there's jungle cats and shit, man. And on the coast of Lemlia, right here, I should find a different. We should really get a different. There we go. Right, no. There we go. Right there, on the coast of Lemlia, they looked west, and they pointed across the sea, and they said, we would like to know what is across that area, because we would like to build a city there, another city, a port city. And they didn't speak Ducerian very well at that time. So the Nyathar thought, they said, what is the land across the water? What is the immediate land across this water called? What they tried to say is, what is the land across our land called? They meant to ask, what is the name of this desert, of this area, right? But what they did is what they asked was that. What they meant to ask was, what is the land right across the water? So they tried to ask what this was. They ended up mistakenly asking what this was. The Dysarians looked over there and they said, well, that's Kelhet. Over there. And so the Nyathar thought they were saying this was Kelhet. And so the Nyathar said, great, we will build our city there. And the Dysarians were like, okay, cool. And they said, and from now on, we are going to call that place Lem Lashir. Now they're talking about this, but the Dysarians thought they were talking about this. So the Dysarians were like, wait, you're renaming the desert of Kelhet Lem Lashir? And the Nyathar confidently nodded and said yes, because they weren't speaking about the same thing. And they said, okay, cool. Because at this time the Nyathar were new, so Nyathar words and phrases and art and culture was like cool and unique. So they're like, oh shit, the Nyathar are renamed. They're calling Kelhet Lem Ashir. Not quite. Lem Lashir is what they meant to call this city. And unfortunately, it stuck. Everyone just started calling this area Lem Ashir. And by the time that the Nyathar got wind of what had happened, and they spoke fluent languages between each other, they understood their languages, they spoke a common languages. Most Nyathar learned how to speak Common and Dusarian. They were like, no, we weren't trying to rename this desert. We were trying to say that our town we wanted to build right here was called Lem Lashir. But everyone at that point had already gotten used to the desert being called that. And it wasn't going back. So now it's on the maps. And that's how that happened. So the entire reason for why these two things have similar names is an entirely believable misunderstanding between the two peoples. Also, just because I made a mistake. But we're rationalizing it with that. So that's pretty cool. What's over there? I don't know what is over there. Yeah, they weren't really explorers. So they didn't even really have a good grasp of it. There are cat girls there. There are fish people wherever. Fish people live. Okay, if you want the fish people, the Azael, they live here. They live in the Shattered Sea. So back in the old days before the Shattered Sea blew up. What's up, Benji? When the Shattered Sea was still a sort of an inner sea kingdom, right, where there was a link into it right here through this sort of port, and there's kind of this like large inner sea island kingdom, which what is the Shattered Sea now? But back when it was that, the Azael lived in the waters of this inner sea, and so when the Shattered Sea exploded, most of the Azael people died too. But now, through the Shattered Sea, there are these sort of like large floating lakes and floating rivers, or sorry, floating seas, where there's huge, like massive sort of bubbles of water, of sky shard rich water that kind of like move around and float around the sky, you know, in and around all the islands and the clouds in the background. And the Azael have like large sort of like chunks of land in there and large cities built up inside the water. And so the Azael can all naturally fly within the Shattered Sea. And so those like, they're not on the map because they move around so much, but there are large like floating like oceans and lakes or seas or whatever all around the Shattered Sea that you can find with Azael communities in them. So the fish people and the cat people are in fact not right next door, which caused much peace to spread up across the land. Welcome to tonight's seminar, how to distract streamer by chat. Listen. We're getting there. This is all in service of a greater goal, all right? We're talking about our maps, we're talking about where we've been, and now we need to figure out where we're going. So why is this area, the central important new area, Corpa MTX Farm, which is its code name, why is this area so important? So the most important location significant to the story eventually will be this area right here called the Seat of the Eldari. It's a massive rune structure, the largest rune structure of the Eldari runes in Teleria. And why is it important? I don't know, man. Go play the Realms of Eldar adventure in a year when it comes out and find out. But this area, this region, this sort of central area is the oldest kind of kingdom established culture, whatever, next to the elves. The sort of the kingdom of Ashasari and the kingdom of this place were the two sort of sister ancient cultural locations that society kind of expanded from. So, you know, the Ducerians all have a story of crossing the ocean and going to the Relic Coast. The Stonemarkians remember it very recently. This is why I sort of say Stonemark is kind of like America, because basically everything north of this was like unkept wildlands of like danger beasts and like, you know, 30-foot grizzly bears, and like nobody went up here ever except for some like people that really like the cold and they just fucked off. But so Stonemark, they have a more recent history of sort of like taming the lands of what is now Stonemark. People have like the gnomes in our world are called the Awar. The gnomes have stories of when they actually descended from, they say they originated at the seat of the Eldari, and they crossed the sea to establish their like gnomish kingdom. Basically, everyone has stories of how they got here, except for the elves, the humans, and the dwarves. Our holy trinity of sort of like our fantasy peoples, right? I think that when we talk about fantasy ideas and tropes and concepts that we can rebrand and reskin and deserve to be rebranded or reskinned in fantasy, because it's like, you know, everyone does elves the same way, everyone does dwarves the same way, or everyone does whatever the same way. There are certain ideas that I think we can do with a redesign because it's self-referential at a certain point. And like tieflings is one of them that needed a redesign. Dragons is not one, in my opinion, that needs a redesign. I think dragons are an axiomatic concept within fantasy. And I think that, and my intuition is, and I could be wrong, is that humans, elves, and dwarves are also somewhat axiomatic. They're axiomatic to traditional fantasy. And don't forget, Teleria is a traditional fantasy realm. Other realms of Eldara will be more experimental. We could talk about some of that one of these days as sort of ideas for experimental sort of areas with different stories. And so I've kind of talked about it a little bit. You guys know of Thorash and Domingrad and really those two worlds as well. And Everflow. I've talked about Thorash, Domingrad, and Everflow as well as three other worlds that are going to have very different vibes in a fantasy context. But for our holy trinity of humans, elves, and dwarves, the oldest people, the oldest cultures, the oldest, you know, civilizations within the world, this is the old world, like Nick said. So so the elves were always somewhat reclusive in the fact that they were not like that they didn't enjoy the other peoples. They just sort of did their own thing, and they were super happy to be elves and to just elf all day. And they didn't really want, they're like, hey, do you want to send off a convoy of elves to the eastward, to the new world, to find new lands? And the elves were like, I'm good. They like building shit. They're like, why would I build a new city when I could build more onto my city? So the elven cities of Ashalore and Asha Ithari are beautiful, massive, huge cities of towering buildings and structures. The entire city is a jeweled palace, more or less. They really like building really cool shit over long periods of time. They have no desire to go. They're master druids as well. They can cultivate lands. They don't need more resources. They want for nothing beyond their borders. They have their border. They've never contested their border. They've defended their border. But they've never wanted more. So they never had a reason to leave. The dwarves were very similar. The dwarves and actually the dragon folk, because don't forget, this area is not just dwarven. This sort of area in here is kind of the dwarven home, where you have places like, you know, Yormsdale and the dwarven kingdom of Groldar and you know, Grimdar and Northshire and Stonebrawl. And then north of that, where it's too fucking cold, past the gates of Icecrown. Evan, is that a World of Warcraft reference? Yes, shut up. Eat me. Past the gates known as the Icecrown Gate, in the city of Astereth, which you'll notice has a similar naming convention to to some of the dragon folk places in the Shattered Sea and Kelhet, Nasareth, Astareth, Najkal, Alman, Koresthet, all these places. The dragon folk were like, we're super happy to live somewhere where it's fucking cold. And the dwarves were like, have at her. Go do what you gotta do. Now the dwarves and their kingdom are also flanked by the Geminos down here. The Geminos live here, and these are our tieflings. And basically the entire culture is loosely referencing old aristocratic French culture. So old, like maybe Norman culture or something. So they really like being in their little valley and drinking wine and not doing anything besides that. So they're happy. They're happy to live here. They're happy to have their dwarves and friends up here. The dwarves love living here because they're like, we don't have to worry about anybody fucking with our shit. The dragon folk are happy to be there and cold, and they're not going to invade us. The tieflings, which are the Geminos down here, are super happy to live in their valley and sell us wine. And they love shit from underground, all right? The Geminos can't get enough of fancy shit from underground, okay? They love precious metals. They love gems. They love crystals. They love bead curtains. Okay, no, they're not crystal girls. They like expensive crystals. So they love that shit. So they're super happy to like defend any aggressors that would ever come to their lands to try and like, you know, mess with the dwarves. So the dwarves just chill, man. The dwarves are they're a very long-lived people. They're very slow-moving people. And some people don't even think they exist because they don't travel a lot, because they're just like, we're just gonna sit in our mountains and be chill. So they do that. So they're relaxing. Humans, on the other hand, humans carry an uncanny level of ambition and exploration. It is within the human spirit to want to go out, to venture forth and find new shit. So that's why humanity spread to our southern human kingdom here, our northern human kingdom, our Stone Markian human kingdom, and of course the Aldarians in the Shattered Sea, and also the Relic Coast-ish. So humans, man, they love doing human stuff. They fucking love that shit. Now, the thing is, though, that they were also the most welcoming of cultural exchanges. The elves are like, hey, we really like our music and our culture and stuff. And people are like, wow, we like it too. Do you want to see ours? And the elves are like, I'm good. You sure? You don't want to see, like, we make this great thing called a hamburger. And the elves are like, yeah, that's great. We're good. The elves like what they like. They don't love cultural exchange. They're not like dicks about it, but they're like, yeah, I just prefer to eat my elven food and listen to my elven music, because they have this like kind of like idea that they're so good at doing elven stuff that they're better than at anyone else doing their own stuff. So of course, why would they look at their stuff? But the humans fucking love getting to know people and being friends with people. So the humans are like, hey, can we set up a city in your country and do like cool shit and trade with you and have babies and like, you know, like make a flourishing society? And the other people are like, okay. And they're like, hey, do you want to make a city in our country too? And there are other cultures like, sure, man. Except for the elves. They were like, I'm good. You know? So all along through the human lands, there's a deep history of cultures bringing in their, like, making cities around this sort of like kind of cradle of civilization in this area. Massive human city at the center of this on an island. The entire island is covered with city. It's huge. It's massive. It's a massive island. It's all city. It's dense. It's packed. It is the human center of all of this. The predominantly human lands, which have been kind of like mixed in with everybody. So all these places are going to have unique cities. Some are human, some are kind of like mixed, whatever, like mostly human, but they have a lot of like Dusarians in them. And some are a full-on like Nyathar city, like the Nyathar have a port city here. And so I want this area to be kind of the cultural center and exchange for the world. So that's why it's the most important area, most important region, because this is the big city. This is the New York City, the Tokyo, the London of the world, depending on what sort of time period we're at. It is the central area where people converse and gather for trade and everything else. And so it's contextualized by being kind of at the center of the world map in here. You know, everywhere leads to this sort of central new and important Corpo MTX farm, which is why it carries that name. So I need to actually settle on this because Ella's character in her our new game, her Astral Knight, is from somewhere in here. She is a duke's daughter somewhere from this area. She's nobility from across the sea in the oldest royal oldest noble bloodlines.
From moving. Currents and waves tend to move islands like this.
So, okay. It's not a part of their culture they're proud of, Senex. But they opened up a 7-Eleven right next to a Taco Bell on the island. Okay? People would go get like 60-ounce drinks from 7-Eleven and then go get like dollar menu meals until they were full. And it's just, dude, listen, it was a dark part of history, but basically that island's not going nowhere now. So yeah, it's rough. It's tough. I don't know. We were sort of teaming last time. There was a story about the island at some point in time, like emerging from a volcano or something like that. But I don't know. I think I just want to be like a landmass. I don't think maybe if there was a volcano, it's like a dormant volcano that's been built over. But I think it's just kind of a dense, packed city. Is there going to be a floating city? The floating city they're thinking about is Grand Crest. Grand Crest is a floating island. All the floating shit happens here. There's like some floaty stuff elsewhere in the world, but the majority of floaty shit happens here. So Grand Crest is a floating city that has multiple layers for it. I haven't had time to draw a map of Grand Crest, but basically Grand Crest is an island. It's nothing but city. It's got like docks and like a lower city area with like city shit all over it. An upper city that has all the like the fancy buildings and whatnot. And then it has like lower levels to its city that have like harbors and like ports through it. So the entire island is city. There's like underground city components, but there's these entire like under harbors where like ships can sort of dock with for more like industrial stuff. The more like local commerce thing happens on the main level. And then like there's like fancy like rich people docks, you know, on the upper level. So Grand Crest is currently our floating city, whereas that is the location that my current party is in. That is the location that Fishy's going to start her game in. Because Fishy's character, Runa, comes from somewhere. Her people come from somewhere in this corner of the world as well. I need to make a small valley or something. And also the important thing about this area is somewhere in this area, the Astral Knight Temple is. I need to figure out where the main Astral Sage temples are and also where the main Astral Knight Temple is. I'm thinking about putting the Sage temples sort of like in a valley around here and having like a mountain range or something going like this or whatever. So there's this sort of secluded area with like maybe a large rune site, something like the Seat of the Eldari, but I don't know how it's going to differ. And I think that there needs to be like another sort of smaller valley here where Runa's people, the dog folk or whatever, can be from. So we also need to figure this map out for Fishy's backstory and Ella's backstory, so we have names for stuff. Because when my players asked Ella where she's from, I said, she tells you she's from the place across the sea that everybody knows. That's the large, massive kingdom, and you're really impressed by it. And everyone was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. I've never met somebody from there. Wow, this is important. So I don't have a name for it, bro. So we need to do that. We need to build that. So we have a couple goals with this. We have... Currently on the map, we have the idea of making our big city, our big island city, because this is the actual... Now we're working with the actual map here. Where's our sketch and notes and everything? Okay. So we need to have We have currently what we have an island. This is where the Mithara are from. The Mithara are like our ancient mystical moth people, basically. We've done. So they all come from this island. They do Mithara things. They're super happy to be there, and they not great food. But the north here, on the north side of this mountain range, is sort of like a boreal rainforest, kind of like Ireland or whatever. Very warm and temperate. Doesn't freeze down. Not, tropical rainforest. But dense forest. That's where our Windra are from. That's why the little rabbit icon is here. So our Windra are from that northern area. We have our Mithara from the southern area. We need to have our dog folk, whatever, from some area here. Over here is going to be Elvish lands. This is all going to be kind of dense human old kingdoms. So we're going to have a lot of like old, like English sounding names that, the shires and whatever else, all for that area. Down in here, though, I think I want to reserve this kind of area a little bit more for our astral sages. So, what's that going to look like? We need to have our main night temple. What's the name of the Elvish Kingdom? It's called Ash Asari. So, the entire area is called Ash Asari, and it's composed of basically like 3 sort of Elvish bloodlines. It's composed of the Twilight Elves, the Sun Elves, or they have a weird name for themselves. They refer to themselves as an Elvish name. The Twilight Elves are happy to be called Twilight Elves. And then the Wood Elves in the Windwoods. So, wait, where does our... Oh, wait, so elves are this way. I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. So northern up here is cold, like Dwarven lands. Right. The map's gonna sort of have part of, I don't know if it fits in like this. Hold on. I need to, we need to reference this map, actually. We need to reference part of our other map here. So we're gonna take that and copy it. Wait, that's not right, is it? We're going to size these to the mountains. It's more or less right there. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I need to have the northern portion of our Dwarven lands up here. And actually, more than that, now I think about it. Wait, do I? No, I think we're good. Okay. All right. So we need to include some of the sort of the mountain range here that comes down from our Dwarvish peoples. So we're referencing a little bit of our Elvish lands as well down here, but in between sort of the Elvish lands and the human kingdoms, I want there to be a area where our sages can sort of gather, The new city is Ashasari. Wait, why do we Ashasari? Can I get a quick check of the perspective if something is correct? It's really hard to judge with one eye. Maybe after streamer, whatever. It's not important. Why? Wait, with one eye? Yeah, send it. I'll check it out after stream. Yes. Hit me. Throw it. I will check my DMs today. Absolutely. Also, what does the Bay region look like? A dragon's maw? I don't know, bro. You gotta ask some scholar that question. See if they know. So the question though is, because I need to then figure out how the sages organize in their temples. So there's 5 primary sage orders, but I don't want them all to be from one place. So I need 3 things in this area. I need 1 sage temple. That's where all the 5 main orders and all the circles can gather and do all their sage stuff. I need 1 rune site that is a important location tying them to this area specifically. And I need a temple for the Astral Knights. Though I wonder if the Astral Knight temple should be on the map. So, okay, the debate is, would the temple be on the map if this was an in-world map? And the answer is no, I don't think so. And I try and keep the maps as in-world as I can. However, sometimes we have to break the map as a function of, like, it has to have a function too as well. The function is to also tell players where shit is-ish. And so even if something wouldn't necessarily be on the map in-world, it might still have, like, we can use that a little bit. We can say in the Shattered Sea, the new area or the new island the first adventure starts on is called Horizon, and Horizon's somewhere in here. It's somewhere in this sort of region. And the reason why it's not on the map and why I didn't make a version with it on the map is because Horizon's too new. And I'm okay with that being a reason why, because the location of Horizon doesn't really matter. You just tell your players it's somewhere in the Shattered Sea, in the south, by the Maelstrom. It's a couple days boat ride, you know, airship ride there. Cool, whatever. When it comes to the Night Temple, I feel like the Night Temple is going to be an important place for lore for many players who play a Knight or a Sage. So I suppose we would add it to the map, even if it wouldn't necessarily be on the map. It's one of those, like, when do you spend your currency versus when do you, like, build your currency for silly things happening on your map. And I think this is one of those times we have to spend a little bit of currency. Where we're building it elsewhere, we have room to spend it right now. So we need a mountain range. Oops. We need a mountain range. And I'm thinking, did we do it on the world map? Did we do a mountain range on the world map? We did not. Okay, so this area. Let's see what feels good. We'll fill in, like, how much of a valley do we want here? Oops. Do kind of a small little thing and have it kind of open up. So it kind of divides our human and elvish lands, so that I need to divide it from the elvish lands as well. So like another mountain range that just sort of wraps around the bottom-ish, like there. And then we can have some sort of ancient rune site. And we can have our main sage temple. Let's put it somewhere. Let's put our knight temple in here, in the mountains. And we need to find a name for the order then, and a name for the temple as well. We're not going to call it Knight Temple. That's dumb. The Astral Knights need to have an order name, be known as something else, you know? I wear eye patch for a bit, got an issue with my good eye, and I'm half blind for a bit. When I see my bad eye, so I'm exaggerating, I'll be fine. Jeez, dude, what? Alright. Alright, you make me worry, man. Well, that fucking sucks. I've injured an eye before and had to paint with one eye as well for an extended period of time, and that is not easy. But you do actually, like, weirdly and staggeringly get used to it. Some places you just put the new area, it's found in, like, mountain range, a temple. Yeah, I guess. That, it could be easier to say, maybe we name the mountain range and say within that mountain range is a temple. I don't know. We'll see what's better, looks better on the map and feels better. So, the Sage Temple, though, let's put it kind of out in the middle of... We're not going to put it up against any mountains. So we'll have, like, some sort of large... kind of Groldar-looking area with kind of Astral Sage style architecture. Really defining it so that we know where we're at when we talk about this temple. Now, we could also just say that the main sages in the world gather at the at the seat of the Eldari. But I kind of want to have that area be a pilgrimage site and not like a main. Because if we have like the main sage temple here and they have to like journey to the seat of the Eldari for various reasons, that to me, I like that slightly more than having this place itself be the temple. I don't know why. There's a vibe I'm trying to capture and I'm not really sure what it is. Oh, we're gonna put our Mythara. Hold on. Mythara lands. So we gotta name the island. We gotta name the city. And maybe put a smaller city here or whatever. So we have like, I want the words on this map to be dense. I'm fine if there are like a ton of cities all like together and the map is just full of names. I'm okay with that. Because this area is going to be more dense. It's like when you look at a map of like England versus the Midwest. It's like, yeah. Should the Sage Temple be situated above a ley line just in case someone might be tempted to bore down to it because they're convinced Eldarians didn't do it right? I mean, the thing is, the Sages wouldn't have any desire for that. The Sages don't utilize the ley lines of the world whatsoever. So the place of their grand temple would be somewhere that converges. It would be like it'd be more along the lines of it would have some sort of like equinox or equatorial it has to have some sort of significance to the world itself and to various celestial bodies. So I don't know. Oh my god, I know how this is gonna work. Okay, I can't spoil it. I just realized precisely why this is gonna work this way. Okay, never mind. I'm good. But in the Sage Temple near mountains, so they get better views on the astral. No, I like the idea of them being like sort of on a kind of like lone mountaintop, like a I don't know, a singular mountain in the middle of sort of nowhere. I want to be more of like, I have this idea for it where you have this city towering up above or this temple towering up above, but with plains all around it. So there's nothing, to sort of mess around with the area, with the light or anything like that. So. Really dark areas, good sightlines. Yeah. Yep. If you find a couple weeks, just need rest and ointment on the islet. That's tough, man. That's really tough. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That sounds awful, Thorkin. Maybe it's accidentally above a ley line. A group of rugged adventurers need to get into its under regions in order to fix what the Aldarians started. Just thinking out loud. I'm sure there's a temple like that somewhere in the world. Yeah. I'm sure there is. You just have to ask around, Actually, how far across the world is this? Is there like a thing where I can hold on? Is there a? Let me see. Map something to a globe. Map to globe. Is there a thing I can do? No. Please tell me there has to be a service that does this. Okay, hold on. Let me try saving this. Hold up. $10 megabytes. How big is this? Oh, I see. I see. Hold up. We're gonna try something. We're gonna see if this website works. Image size 120 megabytes. Cool. So we're gonna make that 150. That drops it down. We're gonna make it 13. We're gonna make it 15. We're gonna make it 14. So that great. Okay. Save. Whoa, wait. This is cool. Yo, check it out, dude. Just how I envisioned it. So the Seat of the Eldari, is it on the exact other side of the world? Or sorry, this as the Shattered Sea? Not quite. But the Seat of the Eldari is. Ooh, this is cool, man. This is cool. Look at it. You got Stonemark up there chilling where Canada would be. You got the old world just being Europe. You get the Dwarven lands being Scandinavia and Russia. You got the other Elven kingdom down here and the humans and whatnot. The gnomes are like Telerian Australia. So that means this, whatever it is like our ice cap. I knew that. Okay, so this on the world map, I knew that this was like, this would lead up to be our ice cap up here. And I kind of, dude, I actually, look at it, dude, I like actually planned this out. And it worked. It fucking worked. This is a bit far north though, but I think that's probably okay. So we need a bit larger of an ice cap on the north. Because I'm basing this off of the Earth entirely. They can be smaller, but it doesn't need to be massive. But that's cool, dude. That's actually sick. Those are Africa. I mean, kind of. A little bit too far south for that, but yeah, does it change your view of the world? I mean, it's cool. You know, it's cool to see. Is how, like, so we know this is kind of like our Atlantic Ocean, but what's cool is they never had a visual of the Pacific. So it means that our, like, whatever we put on the world map right here is going to be a short sail away from the Lemashir Desert. Or it also, so I actually really wanted this. I really wanted it to be a very long, vast ocean, or wide, vast ocean between the Elvish, like, trade routes and the wildlands. Like, I want this to be a very, like the elves had no, like, no one goes this way. So anyone who does any trade goes through the Shattered Sea, up around here into the Elvish lands, right? Or goes through this sort of like bottom like corridor or whatever. But it really also emphasizes why Grand Crest and this area are like really, you know, why there's a big sea trade route around here through this area, and then also through into Stormhold and into Coralastria. This is dope, man. I'm glad I found this. This is cool, dude. Texture globe of your world would be sick. Dude, it would be cool. Dude, what the fuck? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Damn. What's up, hero? I was AFK for not that long. This view of the world is so cool. Yeah, this is dope, dude. I'm excited. It does condense the Dwarven lands in size quite a bit, which is interesting to see. And Stonemark and the Relic Coast also sort of makes Lemashir way bigger, and I kind of dig that. I actually really like that. I like that it stretches out Lemashir and makes this entire region a lot thicker, as well as this entire region a lot bigger. Because they're going to be very dense areas, you know? So our equator runs right through the Old Kingdoms, right through Southern Relic Coast. What I haven't really, like, tracked is that this area was going to be very warm, too. But I kind of like that. I mean, look, you can mess with weather in your fantasy world. You don't have to have any rules. Like, it's... as long as it mostly works out, people are easily sold a fantasy of weather. So, I'm not too worried about that. But the Shattered Sea is, like, more south, but it's, like, really warm there. Damn, this is cool, dude. I wanted there to be a land bridge between the two continents here. That's why this kind of like on the world map, you see it here. The Northern Wildlands actually leads up into the north of or like it goes. I envision it going up and across and over into the door or the Dwarven or the Dragonborn lands, which is really cool because it like kind of does. The map like skews it a bit, but it actually kind of does. I'm not so sure about this area. It's a bit far north for anything really, but maybe it's okay. Maybe not. I don't know. We got a little ice cap down there. Our Awar live there. Dude, this is cool, man. You should add canvas to make it a bit the ice cap bigger. Probably, I'd have if I could probably go in and like mess around with the actual map a little bit to like project it or whatever. The world's flat, but it's fun that people on your world have fanfic. Yeah, there it is. Up in Costco, there's a 1 ounce Canada Maple Leaf gold coin on sale. They started selling gold coins at Costco. I saw that. I've always wanted to own a 1 ounce gold coin, like a proper sized gold coin. I don't know what I'd do with it. I have a silver coin. I have 2 silver coins. It's my like fidget thing at my desk. I have 2 like American silver coins that I always fidget with, and they're cool, dude. I like them. I don't really know what they're worth or whatever. I don't think probably all that much because they're just silver, but they're cool. I like them. They're little coins that I can sit here and while I'm playing D&D, flipping my hand, toss around and stuff. So I got them because I thought it'd be a cool thing to have like a stack of like silver for your D&D games or whatever that you like put in front of your players, but they're expensive, so I need more. They're also not a standard size. Apparently all the countries don't have a standard size for their coins, so that sucks. I was gonna get like all sorts of different silver coins and have it be like treasure that you can like look through, but that's 1, expensive, and 2, not gonna work. So I just have 2. We'll accept donations of any American silver coins. This is really cool. I like this. This is neat. This is fun to see. This is like really rewarding to see. I don't know why. You know? I don't know why, but this is really rewarding to look at. It's like it feels more real, you know? What are all these things? Images. So you can do a night, a height map. You can add a height map to this. I can actually make a textured. Holy shit. Wait, let me get some space. Let me get some space in the background. What's some good space that I can get? Is this a good space? This is a good space. It's from the BBC, you know it's good space. I wonder if I can drag it. There's no shot it's this easy. Oh, wait. No. It just drags it to the... Wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Shit, I fucked up. Map. Hold on. I gotta get back up. Here you go. Hey, all right. Wait. Save image as... space. We're gonna save it as a... Oh, do we need to actually like, save this through Photoshop? I think we do. Fuck. Copy image. Save as... Wait, what? JPEG. Artwork. Space. All right. Okay. Next step. Oh, wait. While we're in here, hold on. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna do we're gonna flatten image, and then we're gonna make another layer on top of it. We're gonna make it blue, mid blue, and then we're going to make it a multiply. Okay. Save as copy. World map, copy night. Wait, that's not. Wait. Let's Photoshop. Wait. This is gonna be cool. Copy night. Okay. We're gonna undo those things so I don't accidentally flatten my image. We're gonna save it. Then, okay, we're gonna go back into this. We're going to images. We're going to upload the surface as world map copy. Night is going to be world map. forgot. I forgot. Don't you hate it when you forgore? Okay. Now we're going to upload it as the night version. Okay. Background, we're going to go to Space Sphere. Okay. Yo. Dude. And you got the day blends in. Wait, how do you move around in the night? Wait. Sun position? Oh my god. Light intensity. Alright, chill. Show atmosphere. Yep. Show latitude and longitudinal grid. No, thank you. Show solid background. No. Oh, wait. I fucked up. Give me back my thing. Give me back. Axle tilt? Give it a little tilt. Mile scattering. Fuck. Oh, I see. Images. Oops. Okay. Night side darkness. This is cool. This is cool. What else is there in here? What other features that I can't see? Height map scale. Oh, we don't have our... Right, we don't have a height map for it. Animations. Make GIF of rotating globe with fixed sun. Wait. This is cool. Hold up. Wait. Can I upload a GIF to World Anvil? Is that a thing I can do? Is that a thing that I'm allowed to do? Click here, download it. Globe GIF? Yes, we'll accept GIF. Dude, I'm gonna make a proper version of this with Eldar in the background. Oh my god! This is gonna be so good! Holy shit! Close. Where's our GIF? Oh, that's so cool. Can I tweet this? Is this a tweet? Is this tweetable? Please. Please. How do you upload a GIF to Twitter? There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way. Hold on. Damn it. Doesn't seem like it works. Fuck, man. You post GIFs? Yeah, but do you have to post them through the GIF thingy? Like the official GIF search? Because it won't let me like drag and drop it. Try image? If I try and upload the GIF myself. No, you have to search GIFs. What if I try uploading it as an image? We're going to put this in artwork. I'll call this globe GIF. Damn it, it doesn't work, dude. What the fuck? Alright, whatever. That's cool. That's cool as shit. What about rotating sun fixed... Oh no, we don't want to do that. That was... Man, this is cool. Switch to sketch view. Oh, you can draw things on it. Undo. So you could go to the sea. Wait, which sea is this? Undo. Which sea is it? This is right in between Lemashir and right here. Yeah. So You could draw like a crumb. Oh, no, it's on the other side. Okay. Sketch view, animations, switch to 3D view. Oh, wow. This is great, dude. This is a great feature. Convert to video? Probably. That's what I have to do. This is a great little tool. I'm super happy about this. Generate? What is this? I don't know what this generate shit is, but I don't like it. Wait, is sketch view, can we do the like height map or whatever? Grid, clear, paint bucket, line, lane. What? Okay, what about if we want to go from here to here? Let's see if this line. Oh, it's through the night. Damn it. Okay. That's fine. Oops. Switch 3D view. Okay, cool, man. This is awesome. I should make this a GIF or whatever for one of my like follow announcements or alert or something like that. You know? We level gifts to the World Anvil. We'll just make MySpace, but for fantasy worlds. Oh, come on, man. I'm totally gonna do that. You know it, right? I'm gonna upload this when I get a proper version of my world map finished. I am going to map. I'm gonna map my globe. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be sick. I'm so pleased with this. What I would like is if they had a service that they would color 3D print something or whatever. Like the old like World of Warcraft like figure arts or whatever or some shit. You used to be able to get your World of Warcraft figure like character 3D printed. And it had all the like, this is before 3D printing was a thing. And it had all of the like detail and color and whatever. If I could get like an Eldar globe made and I could put on a little globe thingy. Dude, could you imagine? These would be sick. There's got to be a way you could do that. I just don't know how much it's going to be, but there's got to be a service where if I say, here is my 3D model globe of my world, please make it for me. You know? Or I just make it myself. I would have to figure out how to like segment it and how to like cut it or whatever. And shrink it in certain ways, like shrink it in the top and the bottom and cut it in a way that makes sense and then wrap it around it somehow. Dude. This is fucking cool. Stress ball. No, I'm not squeezing the world. I don't want to damage the world. Come on. Oh wait, I need to get new water. I'm all out. I will be right back. And then we'll get back into the map and start figuring out where shit goes. So, BRB. I'm back. I have different water. I have Gundam water. I still have a little bit of my other water, though, so I should finish that, too. Not that wasting water is, like... It's not like I paid for it, so... I should still drink it. All right, yeah, okay. Damn. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try one thing real quick. Try one thing. Because, you know. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, whatever. Fuck it. I'll do later. Okay. We have our every once in a while I want to finish the sketches and then take it and like slap it on the map and figure out if it looks good on the world map. Not that it needs to, but it's just nice if it kind of works out, if it's like a little bit, you know, you get free water. No, our water bill is just so unbelievably low every month that I don't even consider it a bill. It's not like our electricity bill, right? It's not like our electricity bill, because that's pretty tough recently, winter and all. But no, basically, anyway. Hear me out. Scale down to a 3D model. Make a mold for resin. Make a resin version of the inside of the world and what it might look like. Of the inside of the world and what it might look like. Viddy, what do you think in your estimation is on the inside of the world? Yeah, what? Wait, what's going on? What's going on underneath? What's happening? What's up, Gabby? We are doing D&D Cartography. It is a rare day here in the Electronic Blur Arts studio. So, all right. I'm on the wrong layer for this, and I kind of don't care because it's just a sketch. So, clean it up a little bit, at the very least. Okay. So I kind of want two almost like distinct. I feel like if you had a human kingdom, some sort of like human lands, it would not be beyond doubt that you'd have two different cultures developing, sort of like the English and French.
Something cool, I guess. Swirling energy, ley lines, a dragon, who knows?
Maybe. I guess you have to find out. Dude, Viddy, that's one of the secrets of the world, okay? I had a terrible idea. Tell me if this is a terrible idea, okay? It's either, listen, this is either the best idea I've ever come up with or the worst idea I've ever come up with. I want to make an OnlyFans for my fantasy setting. All right? I want to make an OnlyFans for the Realms of Eldara. What would you get? What do you normally get in OnlyFans? You get exclusive inside access to secret images and information. I want to make an OnlyFans where it's all secret lore for Eldara. So instead of paying for feet pics for your favorite streamer or whatever, you can join the Realms of Eldara OnlyFans to get information about secrets of the world, such as what is on the inside of it, what is the astral aura, what is Eldara itself. I think this would be a great strategy for me to gatekeep information to the point where the majority of the people won't understand what the lore is, so that they can discover it in game like it's intended. But if somebody wants to subscribe to the OnlyFans instead of getting feet pics from their favorite streamer, but to my OnlyFans for my game setting to get exclusive access to lore. And what we do know is that World Anvil, you can like do some stuff with the API. I don't know how it works. really, with like Patreon, so that you can have like lists and shit at Sage tier, which I am a Sage. Okay. I wonder if you can integrate OnlyFans into World Anvil. This would be the weirdest question for Samurai or whoever. I don't know who I'd ask at World Anvil, but I should ask them, can I make an exclusive list of subscribers to my World Anvil? And they'd be like, yes. Can I do it via the subscriber list I export from Patreon? Yes. Can I do it via a subscriber list I export from OnlyFans? I could be the first and potentially only world builder using the World Anvil site that uses their Sage tier to grant specific access to things via OnlyFans instead of Patreon. I'm just saying, man. I am just saying. So, you know what I need to do? Get more microtransactions? Yep. That's what I said. By like lore, yeah, me too. Super unrelated. Have you tried Plunderstorm? I haven't tried Plunderstorm, Thorkin. I have almost no desire to, and I'm scared by that. I have not tried Plunderstorm, and I am... I'm confused and concerned by the fact that I have zero desire to load it up. I'm worried about that. You know? So, yeah. I just got last night, actually, I Rogue Trader finally went on sale. And Ella said, for the love of God, treat yourself to a fucking game. And I said, no, it's money. And she's like, do it. I said, no. And she said, do it. And I said, no. And she said, do it. And I said, oh, okay, sure. You know, sure. I'll yeah. Yeah, you convinced me. So I bought Rogue Trader, which is the Warhammer CRPG. It's pretty cool so far. I haven't gotten super far into it because I had a headache last night and I didn't want to read a bunch of shit. So I have that to play. And I have, of course, Age of Empires been playing recently, going through all the campaigns. But I have no desire to play Thunderstorm. I don't know why. You know? So I think secondhand can see the fun in answering that question, Evan. Probably. Hopefully he will. I don't know. Lore and pinups. Yeah, I'll do lore and... You either get lore or feet pics of the same character. Yep. The same character. Don't want to donate via stream elements? Well, you can do so through OnlyFans if you want to, and then I can say that I'm in a top percentage of OnlyFans creators. You know? That'd be great. Kind of people seem to like it. Hate. I have no opinion. Just feels like a different game. It seems neat. It's cool. If I was playing a lot right now, I'd probably give it a try. Maybe. I don't know. I just have no desire to go back into it, you know, which is weird, Thorkin. You'd think that I would like a new big game mode for World of Warcraft. Experimental thing comes out, super big. It's just like you'd think I'd be like in it, you know, and super excited, but I don't know, man. Kind of worried about that too. I'm kind of concerned that I'm not into playing. Look, I'll subscribe. You're going to be be the one to explain to my fiance why I have an OnlyFans subscription. You know what, Viddy? I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video. And it's going to be called like OnlyFans exclusive heart emoji or something. And I'm going to get everyone who's part of the OnlyFans to save it to their like desktop. And so when your fiance is just like, I'm going to get on his computer and figure out what the fuck this thing is about. And she's like, OnlyFans is good. She clicks on it. It's going to be me being like, hi, I'm Evan Blair Art. You might be wondering why your spouse, romantic partner, or otherwise endeavored human being has an OnlyFans subscription. Well, fear not. My content on OnlyFans is strictly lore and world building for our Dungeons and Dragons game. You know, I can make an explaining video, and you can like they can either find it or you can show it to them, and it's, you know, it's a whole thing. So I should do that. Anyway, okay. So I'm kind of I have a mind to make the people from the north here and the people from the south here not like each other for some reason, at least historically. Because right now in the world, I want there to be a sense of peace. This is important to the world building. There needs to be a level of prosperity and peace amongst the peoples of Eldar, of Teleria, for now. Because Teleria is supposed to be the player versus the world. And I don't want there to be locked off areas where you can't go as a player. Does that make sense? So I want there to be like a conflict that's historical that they got over at some point in time. So there is a distinct culture to the north and a culture to the south, very similar to sort of the English, the Franco-England wars of forever, but that kind of idea. And I want there to be peace, and it's like all good now, and we're all chill, we're relaxing. But basically, people from the north and people from the south would vie for control. Wait, what? Okay. They'd vie for control of our central bay in the past. And so there'll be a big long story I have at some point in time of basically the people warred for hundreds of years until they finally found peace via after some brutal amount. Like I want to be like they brought themselves to the brink of ending their both their bloodlines until the two bloodlines married and they then like sort of became a unified whatever. But they're still culturally different. So there needs to be a king, a sovereign, an emperor. The problem is I need a good term for the person who is in charge of the best place in the world. So naturally my mind goes to president, but no. I need like a royal title. I don't think I like... I'm considering an archduke. A little bit different. Okay? Contemplating a king. Contemplating an emperor. The problem is I worry that the idea of an imperial power is inherently expansive. If you had to ask me right now, and I could be very wrong, what is the difference between a kingdom and an empire? And I'd say that a empire is expanding and like made up of more like multiple like regions and shit, and it's governed in different ways. But like a kingdom is just like a fucking kingdom. So I don't know if like having an emperor, I could say that they're a pharaoh, or Marquess. Well, there's gonna be marquis around, but you know, a prime minister, grand sage, duke, Jesus, high seer. No, it needs to be. So, Vidi, there's a very, the reason why I'm gonna avoid that entirely. I'll tell you why that immediately is a no for me. Not that it's a bad idea. It's a very good idea. I really like that title actually, and might steal that from somewhere else in the world, because seer to me implies some sort of level of like service in the idea of clairvoyance or religious or magical or something, that they have some sort of service to the people. And there's already a lot of that with the grand sages, astral sages. Damn it, I did the thing where I read the thing in chat and said the thing out loud instead of saying the thing in the brain. Inside of the sage orders, there are titles like that, titles like the seers, and this like Star Speaker Ariel is the head of the astral sage order. So I need the royal title for the humans, the human kingdom that is the big one, the old one, to be something that is royal only and has no like that's administrative, like Archon. Yo, what if we call them the Archon? Oh, wait, what is it? Hold on, what does Archon actually mean? I'm thinking of Archon Katrina Steiner, which is a Battletech thing. Archon definition. Archon. Definition, Oxford Languages. Each of the 9 chief magistrate of ancient Athens. Ancient Athenian term, an archon. The thing is, archon also the best unit in StarCraft that is not the carrier. So I love the term Archon. Ooh, Archon. That's at the top right now. Arcan is also a character from Jean Manganello. Arcan. What's an Arcan? Arbiter. Oh, hi Fishy. Hi, what's up? Hello, Fishy. Fishy, no, we're gonna spoil the story for you. Shit. Grand Magus is pretty good. The Administrator. The Administrator is gonna activate the Weaves because they're gonna think that's the Sword Art Online world or whatever. You know. Sovereign could just work, you know. I thought about StarCraft in a while. Yep. Archon D's nuts? No, not quite. Using Archons a lot in my world. Archon's a good one. Yep. Solarian? What is a Solarian? Besides a cool thing from Mass Effect. Solarian. Solarian definition. Solarian is defined as an inhabitant of the sun. No, stop. God damn it, Google. What is this? Am I typing this right? Did I spell it? Solarian. Plural, Solarian. Science fiction inhabitant of the sun. What does it mean to be Solarian? Solarian is used to refer to non-binary people who are man-aligned and are masculine-aligned. In the same way, some cultures consider a sun to possess masculine energy. Possible examples of Solarian experience includes one who is partially a man, and one who has some connection to manhood without being a man. I'm gonna stay real far away from that topic because somebody would get mad if I were to use that in my world. Even if it means something else historically. Yeah. We're just gonna avoid that so nobody gets mad at me for any reason. Pharaoh. Maybe what we do is for fishies like dog people, we have them governed by dynastic pharaohs. Then she could be a pharaoh's daughter. One day ascending the throne of her people as Pharaoh Runa, who currently has no last name. I just realized I was gonna last name Fishy, but I realized that Runa has no last name currently, so that doesn't work. And wants to play StarCraft? Stop it! No, go play StarCraft. This isn't a bad thing. This is working as intended, Gabby. Go play StarCraft. Go play through the campaign. Wings of Liberty in StarCraft 2 is one of my favorite campaigns in any video game ever. So, would you want to have the land run by a council? No. Grand Crest represents the sort of republic, the corrupted republic council thingy, whatever. I want the old world to feel old. I want there to be like a pope. All right. Wait, is Pope a strictly Catholic term, or is Pope a term of like some sort of a leader that we could use? Could we have a Pope somewhere in our world? Be like we have the Archon, and then we have the Archon's like chief advisor, the current Pope. I'll admit I'm not familiar with Catholic titles, so forgive me. R.I. is king in Gaelic. Ooh, Pharaoh Runa. Please don't give Pharaoh that power. I know it's spelled differently, but please. Oh, that's true. I did forget about Pharaoh. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. If I have to change a name in my world, or I have to get Pharaoh to change his Twitch name, I am happy to have him make that sacrifice. It's one I'm willing to make. So, Pope's derived from father. Is it? Is there an Eastern Orthodox post? No, the Eastern Orthodox churches have patriarchs. So there's I believe there's a Greek Orthodox church, and there is a Georgian Orthodox church. I believe the Georgians might fall under the Russian Orthodox church. And then recently in history, relatively recently, the Ukrainian church broke away from the Russian Orthodox church, so that there is now a Ukrainian patriarch. That was mostly a political move. Churches are still very connected. You know, being Ukrainian myself, there's like a lot of tradition in Ukrainian culture that's just part of the Orthodox church, whatever. So I know about these things. Kind of like a kobold pope. Yep, do it. I'm still gunning for Kaiser because I love the word. Kaiser's pretty good. What does Kaiser mean? That sounds like a German word. Also, if you're worried about spoilers to me, I can absolutely lurk. No. I'm just no. Fishy, I would never. Here's the thing. I don't want my stream to ever be a place my players of any game can't hang out. And also I want there to be like cool mysteries and spoilers and stuff for everyone. So if it's a spoiler, if it would be a spoiler for you, I'd consider it a spoiler for everyone. I wouldn't talk about it. Kaiser's German for emperor. That's fucking sick. Same as Caesar. Tiarna is Lord in Gaelic. Wait, that's sick. The Tiarna. Regulus. The problem is I already have characters named Regulus. Viceroy. So Luna Aralace is the Lady Viceroy of Horizon. So we're already using Viceroys. You know. What's up, Jackie? I do like Exarch, but just checking, Byron, does Exarch? Just wondering if Exarch is only a term for. Oh, it is. Okay. So it's an Orthodox term. Exarch, a bishop lower in rank than a patriarch and having jurisdiction wider than the metropolitan of a diocese, or historically a governor in a distant province under the Byzantine emperors. Ooh. Jackie, this map is we're working on the world map for the map for where Ella's from and where another one of my players in my stream game is from. So this is the far off land across the sea from where the world map is. But oh, check this shit out. Jackie, I put my world map on a globe. Look at it. It's real. It happens. It's a place. This is where you are, right here. That's where you are. That's where you guys played your first game. This is where you ended your first game. That's where you're at now. Dude, this is so cool, man. I'm so enchanted by this feature. I need to actually finish the world map, but once I finish the world map, you know I'm making a globe for it, so that's fucking sick. I made a GIF for it. I need to upload this GIF to like my, I don't know. Maybe I can upload in Discord. In the sketchbook. I wonder if it would upload. It does. All right, there it is. There's our we got it. We got the GIF. Oh, that's so cool, man. I can't wait for this to be like an actual like finished world map or whatever. Wait, where is it? Oh, okay, there we go. Ooh. That's cool, man. All right. Flat Player Society debunked. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, bro. Maybe the Primaris is the title, or Sovereignar. Sovereignar feels too much like Sovereignator, and I kind of like the idea of that, of having someone who's a Sovereignator. They've come for two purposes: to chew gum and to sovereignate, and they're all out of bubble gum. So I like that. I'm liking archons and exarchs. I'm liking the idea of their society governed by archon. An archon is at the top, and then below that is a series of exarchs, and below them is a series of dukes, and then below that is a series of maybe like local lords or something. Why is there a black hole in it? I don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of annoying, but it decided that's what it was doing today, Thorkin, so I don't know. The Primistar Prime Minister smashed together. That's pretty good. Primaris does sound good, actually. This the Astral Sages are for the regular dudes. This is for the regular society. So basically, we have through here, Fishy. Through here is the sort of the center of Astral Sagedom in Teleria. Our Night Temple is going to be up here. There's some sort of important rune site right here, and then the main temple area is right around here. So I need to somewhere place Runa's like people And I'm thinking of putting it in a valley or something like right here. Like maybe put some other mountains or like that. And then having Runa's like valley close. But I'm also kind of cool with it being farther away from the temple. I don't know yet. Runa might not make it onto this map. She might be further east on a different map. Either way, we have our sort of like religious like sage leaders here. What I need is to make 2 sort of human warring kingdoms that came together at a certain point in time, made this large, cool city, are chilling out, relaxing, you know, shooting some b-ball, doing what they do, and we need a title for them. What do we have? An emperor, a king, something like that? And I think I like the idea of them being an archon. The reason I like it is because of Diablo, BattleTech. If we search BattleTech and you search Archon, you get the Archon of the Lyrian Commonwealth, which is the title given to the Steiner family household. Archon Katrina Steiner, before she married the Davion prince, thus changing their family name, joining the Steiner family at the head of the Lyrian Commonwealth, and the Davion family at the head of the Federated Sons, to the new family, the Steiner Davions. Listen, I don't have anyone in my life I can talk about with BattleTech. I don't. Nobody wants to talk to me about Old Man Mech Game. I just have to play it on my own and just imagine that I have friends that are also, you know, men in their late 50s that enjoy BattleTech. So I gotta do it on stream once in a while, you know. You gotta let me get it out of my system. Oh. Genshin uses Archons? Ah, shit. Genshin's trash. Eldar will outrank Genshin in no time, so it's fine. Would it be city based off of the river axis? Probably, yeah. It'd probably be something like that. A big port city. Play BattleTech online? No, I don't play online. Good old Steiners. At least they build good mechs. True. They really like big 100-ton mechs. You have an Archon as the leader. I'd also just call in the capital building the Grand Arch or Arch or something like that. Bring arches into the convention somehow. So there's a connection. I mean, where's the term Archon derived from? Actually, I don't. Where does the title of was it used by the Greeks, or was it an early literary period of ancient Greece? The chief magistrates of the various Greek city-states were called archonites. Ooh. The term was also used throughout Greek history, more of a general sense, ranging from club leader to master of the tables at Sisistia to Roman governor. Maybe Archon's a little bit low in power. Archon Gnosticism, Archon Ancient Greece, Dictionary of Greek and Roman Antiquities, Greek and Roman Mythology, The Seven, Genshin Impact. Wow, you only just scroll down half a page to get Genshin. Fuck. God, Genshin Impact. The Chinese name for Archon quests. Wait, what is this? Archon War. The 7 Archons. You have Mondstadt, Liyue, Ina Zuma, Sum Eru, Fontaine, and Nat Alen, as well as Sneeznia. There you go. Well, I guarantee my Archons will be way cooler than any of those fucking losers. Imagine giving a single dollar to Genshin when the Eldara OnlyFans exists. Disgraceful. Disgraceful. Listen to Ted the Text Talks BattleTech. Yeah, that's pretty good. The word is only canon as globe because the Tellurian Shadow Government is holding Evan's most treasured collectibles hostage until he convinces people it's a good... Wait, it's a globe, not a petri dish. No, my most treasured collectibles are my signed copy of World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth and my signed Mark Dodson card of Salacious B. Crumb. So they're both safe, I assure you. Sissy or how it's spelled. Yeah. What will the other stream game be about? Is it played live or off stream? The one that she's in? It's being played on stream on Tuesday mornings. We're gonna do it. We're doing a one-on-one D&D game. Her and I. We're doing it. We're hitting it. So the game is gonna be based. It is connected to what you guys are doing in your game, Jackie. Connected, but obviously I haven't spoiled any story yet on stream yet for everybody. So we're gonna find this for science for what the Eldara OnlyFans. Don't worry about it, Fishy. Yeah, don't. It's fine. I don't know what you're concerned about. You can just relax, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't be concerned. But the Eldara OnlyFans, no biggie. That's where I'm gonna start accepting my commissions through. Yep, the official Realms of Eldar OnlyFans. Okay, so we have our. I want to make the locations and figure out where all this shit goes. The problem is if we go to the world map, the issue is I feel like Fishy's homeland for the Runarians, or we're calling Runa, is gonna be somewhere further south here. Like I want it somewhere like in this sort of general region. And currently there's no map of that. And I don't really, so this map's already super large. I don't want to make it any bigger. I don't want to make it any larger. Because I could stretch it out a little bit more down, and then I have to like, you know, because it's square, it's like kind of awkward. I just don't want to do that. So I think that unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how we look at it, I don't think Runa's homeland is going to make it on the map. Because I kind of want a lot of places in the world to be like, off in the whatever, right? Because if I have a world map that is like completely condensed, every last little bit of the map is mapped out, then that doesn't leave room for anyone else to add in their own stories. Now, of course, their stories aren't canon, right? Your story of like, hey, I want to create this like this like elvish, you know, kingdom in this like area of a mountainous, you know, sort of territory of elves and bear people or something, and you want to do that and you want to add that to Eldara because you think it's cool and that's the story you want to tell in the campaign setting. I want to give people room to do that. And if you have every last little section, every inch of the world cartographized, then it doesn't work for me, right? It doesn't work for other storytellers, you know? So
multi-dimensional dog people.
Stop. There are no other dimensions. We're not going into different dimensions, Senex. Last time I went into different dimensions, Dashto had an aneurysm and forgot about that 2-year-long game. So I don't want to. Yeah, he thinks we were playing Star Wars the whole time. I don't want to break anyone's brains. Ella thought it was a fanfic. How the Eclipsar, or the Eclipsar, the Eclipsar. That's a great title for the elves, for the Twilight Elves, actually. Eventually, I'll join together without borders. Eventually, once I have all the maps that I want to make for the world, which I'm thinking are going to be this one that I'm currently working on, and 3 more for the sort of general locations. Maybe this one. I don't know if I need a Wildlands map. Maybe, honestly, probably not. But I kind of want to make a map for down here, and I kind of want to make a map for this like area here. Once I have these maps all finished, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a proper world map. I'm going to like draw over it and only pick out the sort of the highlights. Like no one needs to know the small little towns that don't even show up on here from Kelhet, right? Like that doesn't, Jackie, chill. Jesus. God damn. Jackie, relax. What the fuck?
Jackie Felling gifted a tier 1 sub to
Jesus
I am not _
Christ.
Twitch.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thanks for, I don't know how to fix my alerts so it actually has 1 alert for multiple gifted subs. But thank you for that, Jackie. I appreciate the 5 subs. Thank you. Fuck, man. I don't deserve that. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers for subs or bits. I don't know, man. I think it's because I'm trying to think of the. So oh god, it's complicated. It's complicated, Jackie. I think typically, if you're a small streamer and you don't get a bigger sub split, like me, streamers usually prefer bits because it's a bigger like contribution. But the problem is subs bring people in the community. It's not a huge conversion though. It's not, but it doesn't make people feel part of it and look well. Like I always appreciate it because it makes people feel like they're part of the crew, right? But if you're trying to just like financially support a streamer, straight donos are the best, you know. But that's not fun. Bits are better, and then if they're a big streamer, subs are good too. But I don't know. I don't like to think about like, oh, what's the best way to like what a streamers prefer. I just appreciate everybody being here. Okay, that's all it is. And thank you, Nix, for the 100 bits. I appreciate that as well. Axis could be a cool title since it's astral based. Wouldn't Axis bring up World War II issues? That's what I would worry about. Bits also give people special modes. That's true. I forgot about that. Bits are also they unlock emotes for the person that does it. So yeah. So sorry. When I thank you for the bits and thank you for the 5 subs again, Jackie. I appreciate that. But when I finish all the maps, I will go over it and make a full world map. The full world map will not have every little city, every little town, every little speck, every little mountain. It'll be more general, but it'll have everything loosely mapped out. So if you want to zoom in on the important maps, the maps that I have like really specifically like nailed down, like the Shattered Sea, you know, you can do that. But I don't want every little place, every little small thing in the world to be like, you know, contained and whatnot. So we probably won't be able to put Runa's homeland on this map, but that's okay. Unless Fishy goes and cries about it, in which case we'll put her behind the baby gate, and she'll know how it feels for once, which would be justice. But I think we're good on the south. I kind of want to put a city or something. Like, this map's gonna be very dense, so I'm kind of hoping that there is like a... Oh fuck, my borders though. I don't want my borders to eat this mountain range completely. So this stuff might need to move up a little bit because I don't want... Yeah. Okay. We'll have to move this up like this. And it should be pretty...
Excited for D&D
Jesus! What the fuck? Chill! You don't need to pay for D&D, okay? You could just show up for D&D and just relax. God damn! Jack, thank you for the 50. What the fuck? You don't have to do that. You can just show up and just sit your ass down and have fun. That's all you do. You can just relax. God damn it. Holy fuck. Seriously. What the fuck? Thank you for that. I appreciate Jackie, but you don't gotta be doing that, alright? Just stop. Just chill. That's for the stream so we can get to keep watching? Okay. Come on, dude. Thank you, Jackie. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Thank you for keeping the lights on and supporting the stream. I appreciate it massively. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. I will be sure not to kill you off first. Limit, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about. Definitely Dash is on my shit list. Actually, never mind. He gave me some codes. Dash is good for now. Ella? What has Ella done for me recently? Yeah, I would say Ella and Limit need to watch out. So, yeah, it's gonna be rough for them, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the 50. That's incredibly generous of you. I appreciate it. Seriously. Fuck. Are we still planning to map the various kingdoms / peoples? Wait, what? What? Oh, like okay, like a cultural map. Yes, Cobalt, eventually. One of the things that I need to... Wait, bitch, I made you cookies? I just got fucking told. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you did make cookies last week. Yeah, that was great. Last week. Anyway, yeah, cool. But we are going to do a people's map of Teleria. So we'll see how it goes. What if the dog people live in a super remote area and maps of it are pretty rare, and Runa just has to be, or just has a super old, a tattered one from her dad that used to belong to her grandma that she made for herself exploring the valley and getting help from other people in the village. Am I supposed to draw this map, Fishy? Is this something I'm supposed to? Because like wait, you want me to draw like a shitty little tattered map of her village or some shit? What if you draw it? Yeah, where's your map? Hold on, you're making me do all this work. What are you gonna draw for this game? All right, I have to draw Runa. I have to draw Runa's feet. I have to draw the NSFW version of Runa that you asked for in Discord DMs. I have to draw the oh, you know, we should just stop there. We should, yeah, I shouldn't leak our DMs. That's get us both in trouble. Whew, close one. Close shave. I've asked you for nothing, but I would. I know you would. Okay. So I want to create sort of a cultural kind of shift. We need to figure out. Okay, we need to figure out a couple things on the to-do list of things to do. We need to figure out what type of naming convention the Windra have. This is where I need somebody who's like a linguistics, like language expert, to try and help me figure out linguistics of languages that sound great. If only I knew somebody that could do that for me. That'd be a fun afternoon. Now I need to figure out what the Nyathar and the elves and the dwarves all have, and the Dusarians all have super specifics, naming conventions that I don't have written down anywhere. I really fucking should, but we need to figure out Windra naming conventions, because everything top side of these mountains is gonna be Windra cities. So we need to have something inspired from some language or some linguistics. We need to have some sort of naming structure and name convention for our sort of two human areas. I'm thinking one is going to be very England, lots of shires, lots of, you know, strath, lots of just those kind of words. As we go further south, I kind of want to do more of a Mediterranean vibe. So we have very similar cities, but they have more of those like elegant names, more of our Venice, Florence, Athens, you know, Monaco, whatever, those kind of ideas. And then I need to have, obviously, our sage temples are going to go through here. Mithara is an interesting one because the Mithara is a language. Mithara are going to be very unique. There are less character options and more of an NPC sort of like class. You know, they are the most long-lived, the fewest, the wisest, the most diplomatic. Like, they are considered to be sort of maybe the closest connection to the ancient Eldari, but they don't often maintain positions as sages. There are some sages that are Mithara, but they're almost like that type of thing, like Astral Sage, dumb, is just kind of integrated in Mithara culture. They're naturally aligned with certain things. They have a religious tradition that they choose to practice that's kind of like Astral Sagecraft, slightly different, slightly less potent, more on the old school Astral Sage shamanistic side of things, but they're very like devout and religious about it. They have very specific beliefs about the Eldari and what the whole mystery of Eldar is. And their language needs to be something very otherworldly and alien. The Mithara I want to have the most sci-fi alien feel to them. So I wouldn't even know where to begin with their naming conventions. Do it on your own? All right, I will. Fine. I lend you some linguistics books. Do I look like I read fucking books? Dude, when was the last time I actually read a book, bro? Actually, that's not true. I read a book on cryptography. Yeah, if it's an audiobook, I'll listen to it while I draw, you know, hot dragon dudes or whatever. And then are we going to put... So the challenge here, though, as well, the reason why this place is kind of happening last is because I want to put some other cities in here. Like, Like there's going to be a Nyathar port city right here. This is where the Nyathar port city goes. And it's going to be called Lem. We want to name it after their old civilization. I'm gonna call it Lem Nithar. Actually, I have an idea behind this. We're gonna call this place Lem Nithar. So we're gonna have like a Nyathar city in here. That's like established port city. I want to put one Elvish city in here somewhere that sort of bleeds in from the Elvish lands down here, like somewhere in the Astral Sage Valley. It's kind of a destination, pilgrimage city type thing. Borrow from Stargate Ancient Language. That's a great idea, actually. All right, Jackie, I'll see you tonight. All we do is rot hot girls and eat hot chips. I haven't eaten a hot chip in years, Fishy. I miss spicy food. I miss it so bad. You have no idea. Put our Elvish city down there. We have... The dwarves are kind of contained behind on the other side of this mountain range, so I don't need to really worry. Like Ford's Gold probably won't make it on the map because like there'll be a big border right here that'll kind of obfuscate that entire area too much. Who else do we want to put on this map? We have our... Oh my god, let me go into our Eldarin races and cultures document. Figure out what the major ones are, because there are, of course, many different races or species or player options or whatever, but there's going to be... Is it on a special dock or... No. So the major ones that are going to be like important parts of the, like they're going to have, like these are all the ones that are going to have rules for their backgrounds. So humans, we got that. The Elvari are obviously, we got that. The dwarves are not going to be there. Oh, we need an Awar city. Yes. The Ducerians probably wouldn't because they don't give a shit. The Geminos absolutely would. They're diplomatic and they travel everywhere. The Rokari probably wouldn't, honestly. The dragon folk, honestly, probably wouldn't as well. The Mithara we have on an island. The Windra we have on the island. The Nyathar we have for Lemashir. The Azael would absolutely have a city underwater. Absolutely in the bay. 100%, and it'll be dope. So we really need a Geminos city. And maybe a Sornok city. Geminos and Sornok. The Dragonfolk would probably have a district or something like in the main city. Or a temple in the mountains or something along those lines. So we need a French-sounding port city that's not actual French. Because listen, we want it to sound like it's a French word. We don't want it to be an actual French word, so we don't actually encourage actual French people to play our game. Okay, we don't want that. We want French Canadians to play our game, all right? The French can have guapo. They can just, they don't want to play RPGs anyway. They want to drink tiny pretentious coffee and complain about stuff. So that's it. I'm kidding. Jeez, I'm kidding. Chill. So we'll have our, like, maybe our Geminos city. We're gonna call it something. As you know, I never sit down and say, and now I will name this. I have a map, and I work on the map, and eventually names come to me as I'm doing stuff in the back of my mind. They sort of roll around in my subconscious until one just Kool-Aid man's its way into the front of my brain, and I'm like, that's what we're calling these things, or this place, or whatever it is. So we're gonna call it Gemino City for now. We have a Nyathar City, a Gemino City, and then we need a Sornok City. Man. Are Sornoks giants or half giant? No, they are. The Sornok are the most space alien of, like, I've never drawn a Sornok, but basically they kind of look like almost like Star Wars Rancors. And they got like big old tails. And they got these like big old arms. They're, like, dragged down to the ground. And they kind of walk on their like their front arms and back legs and stuff. And these big old fists. And they're huge, like your average human. Your average human, like your taller human, or your average human. Fuck it. Your average human probably has to look up at them when they're talking to them. You know, but like the thing is, like, your Mithara, like the Mithara are very, very fucking tall. Right? With their wings included, the Mithara are like typically as tall as the Sornok. The thing is that Mithara and Sornok are going to be less viable like player character options because they're so much larger than your average. But you can do it. I'll have rules for it. You know. So the Sornok, we don't. I want them to have a city. I just don't know what their culture looks like yet. French they call it Port Croix. Yeah. Okay. Port Malverna. Ooh, Port Malverna. I like that actually. Ooh, wait. What is Malverna? Does Malverna mean anything? Darkin, does Malverna mean anything? That's purple? Ah, shit. Valeria? Valerian sounds cool. Sounds like Valerian things. Can Azale have legs ever? No. No. Azale are merfolk entirely from top to bottom. In theory, Nyx, you could make a case for an Azale having legs if we all know that. So basically the equation is you have your proto-elves, right? And if you put them next to some sort of magic thing, then you get like magic thing proto-elves. And so if this magic thing is like astral magic, you'll get astral elves, which I've never said the word before on stream, and it's an incredibly big spoiler point that I just casually said out loud. So I need everyone to forget that for at least a year. Thank you. If you put your elves near like the night magic of the Twilight Forest, you'll get like dark elves. They have like, you know, purple skin and like stardust shimmers through their skin, and they have like glowing moonlight eyes. And you know, if you put it next to wood elves, or wood elves will grow, you know, flowers and leaves from their hair and bark skin on sort of the thicker parts of their body, things like that, right? If you put a proto elf near a wild god spirit, like a wild god of foxes, you get the Rokari. Of a jungle cat, you get the Nyathar. The Azale were very had a long exposure to this like underwater, some sort of creature underwater that's a wild god spirit. So the Azale would have actually had some kind of historical exposure to something that caused them to shed their legs for proper tails. Now, is there a story you could tell of Azales from like a different bloodline or something from somewhere else that have feet? Like, maybe. It wouldn't be a Talarian story. It would fit somewhere else in Eldara. Once you have like, oh, you have Talaria and the planet of like Azelia, where the Azale come from, and like there's a bloodline of Azale on the planet that were separated to another world called not Azalia or whatever. I don't fucking know. And these ones only like morphed in their physicality to the point where they had like fins and shit, and they were Azael and everything but tail. I don't know. You can make a case for it 100%. If you can make a case for a wood elf that's so wood elf that they turn into a treant, you can make a case for lesser versions of this sort of transformation for these proto elves. So, but as far as Teleria is concerned, Azael found on Teleria on this world would all have tails, and there's just nothing about it. But the Azael can float. Azael they all come from the Shattered Sea. They were there when the Shattered Sea exploded, and their biology has had sky shards integrated into it. Now, so Azael in the Shattered Sea can fly straight up anywhere they want in the Shattered Sea. Azael not in the Shattered Sea can hover more or less. So they don't have the strength. The sky shards don't have the same strength they do in the Shattered Sea to the point where they can fly, but you can still hover. Part of this is a mechanics issue where it's like, I was thinking to myself, oh, these Azael are so cool and they'd be so cool to play in the Shattered Sea, but like, man, what do you do when you leave the Shattered Sea? You need to get like a cart or something, like wheel yourselves out around in the cart. Like, that's lame. Like, I don't know what you do. Like how would you have an Azael outside the Shattered Sea? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna think about this for a while. And as I was considering that, a couple of days later, I played a game of League of Legends, and I got randomly selected on ARAM for Nami, who's the mermaid. And I was like, oh, cool, Nami. Oh yeah, Azael, the merfolk. Oh, this is, that's cool. And I was playing Nami. I was like, I wonder how I could make Nami work in my world. How to make Nami work in my world? And I was like going around, laning, healing people, shooting shit. I was like, wait, Nami's just floating. And no one's asking any questions as to why Nami can float. So, like, why am I worried about this? I'll just make them float outside the Shattered Sea, and everyone will just be chill with it. And it seems to be working. So they just float around. They have a float speed, a hover speed that is the same as, your average walk or run speed or whatever. So is there lizard folk in your setting? Probably somewhere, but not enough that I'm going to highlight them in my own world building. Do Almathar have wings? I thought there were younger models that hadn't grown them yet. Haven't decided on that 100% yet. I think they want to. I think we give younger versions of them still like smaller vestigial wings, but they would still have wings at least in some way. For you suggestions, you actually want suggestions? I like Port Valerion. I love that actually. I've thought about it a little bit, and I actually like Port Valerion. Fuck it. It's sick. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I like it. Why they float, Evan? Yeah, just glasses. Is the area of the world very wealthy, trade abundant? This area, yeah. So this city and Grandcrest are the most wealthy trade cities in the world. This is the main sort of hub of the world. But you could say that the main trade hub of the world is in Grandcrest, depending on how you look at it. But this place and the other place and Grandcrest are both very trade heavy, So okay, this is be cool. So we're gonna put our Azael city somewhere under the water here. I don't know how you're gonna get to it, but it's gonna be sick because the Azael. Do we have a concept for them? We do. Okay. So remember when I was talking about the floating cities in the Shattered Sea and the floating like lakes? This is an example of a floating city inside of or an Azael city inside of a floating like sort of like glob of water or whatnot, And there's little fish schools and all this stuff going in there. So an Azael city underwater would be very similar. It would just be stuck to the bottom of the ocean, lake, whatever. And maybe we'll use some of these other concepts too. Like these sort of like coral type inspired things. Because like the thing to remember about designing for the underwater for the Azael is that they have no need of like gravity or weather in their design. So they're just chilling. They're underwater, they're relaxing. They don't have to worry about like, they have to worry about currents and stuff, but they don't have to worry about like snowfall. Hold on. Okay. So we'll have our Azael city And we'll have a little like we'll figure out a little like model for it of like something like that looks like that or whatever under the water. We'll call it something Azale like. And then I guess the rest of these will all just be mostly human areas. I just don't know what to name the like Mythar or whatever. This is your wings asking for a friend. Yeah, they can't fly, but they can. I don't know. Maybe I just make the moth people be able to fly from. I don't know. I don't know yet, Avatar. I haven't made any full like decisions about the Mythara yet. These are my best suggestions. I liked it. That was good, man. They make nice steel. Wait, who, the Zale or the Geminos? That 5 gets a world building stream. Yeah, what's up, Pepe? Gungan cities? Nah, not quite. Not quite. Hopefully we can like do cooler cities than Gungan. Actually, hold on. Underwater cities. Wasn't there? Wasn't Fathom all about underwater cities and shit? I have a bunch of these comics. If I search for city, do I get? They have concepts here. Oh, they're like Aquaman style cities. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, they're just like buildings and shit. This is a comic series that I don't know. I used to collect and read when I was like a lot younger in, I don't know, in high school and college and whatnot. It was cool. I really liked the art. I liked how he drew every single dude as fucking jacked. There's not a single male character in this comic book series that wasn't absolutely roided out, on gear, straight up T, just fucking giga jacked. And I liked it for some reason. It reminded me of like comic book Dragon Ball Z. The Valerians. There is a character named Valeria, which is close, I guess. Porterelia, the root of the name means the golden one. So the issue with that is that there's a very important character called Star Speaker Aurelia. And she's like the head. I think we did some early concepts of like a younger version of her. Star Speaker Oriel. I worry it's too close. It was close enough that... Yeah, we had our Star Speaker in there. Long ago. The young version of her. I worry that if we have too many words like that, that it's too close. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I do like that. We're chilling, Majestic. How you doing? They choose not to fly because they're adventuring with their brand new, very good friends. I think they're overly polite people. Yeah, maybe. I kind of have this idea of the Mythara as being... Like, part of me wants to lock them away as non-player options. Or, like, actually, no. Here's what I want to do. Atari, here's how I think I'm going to handle it. I think I'm going to make mechanics and like, the rules for playing these different... Like, playing a Mythara or playing a Sornok or whatever it is. But I'm going to make them extremely imbalanced and overpowered. And I'm going to put a note on them that says this is a heroic, like a hero class version of whatever hero background. I don't want to say hero race, and people get mad about that, rightly so. But like a special, like a narrative something or another, with the idea that it's more powerful. If you want to let it in your game, like, okay, man, here's mechanics for it, but it's not intended to be anywhere. I am basically a disclaimer that I am not going to balance this, and I don't want to. It's not intended to be balanced. So these people just fucking fly and have super strong whatever and this and that and all these powers and shit. And that's mostly for NPCs for me. Mythara are rare. They are wise. They are elders within the sort of the Tolarian story, and I'm fine with that being a thing. They're just better, dog. And not everything can or has to or should be balanced for Dungeons and Dragons. It's one of those things where I have to remind myself of my mantra that I am using Dungeons and Dragons to build Eldara. And you guys saw that on Tuesday. For those of you who caught the stream, the world building, I don't know if anyone was paying attention, but the world building I was doing on Tuesday was world building that was defined by a player's choice to explore the world through the context of D&D. And I got new world building in there that I didn't have before with how things worked and cool stories. We made a really cool story with Fishy. But that's why I play D&D. I am not building my world for a D&D game. I am using D&D to build my world. And sometimes it means I have to make a sacrifice where I have to say, like, yeah, if you choose this background, you're just better. If you choose this race, like, you're just better. And it's like imbalanced and supposed to be. You're supposed to be imbalanced. No one would bat an eye if you had like magic laser elves from some fantasy, but it's like, oh no, if I have to like put this in my game, I have to balance it. It's like, no, just make imbalanced rules for it and say these are very rare and not intended to be a play balance for your D&D game. If y'all make an NPC about it, go for it. But if not, understood. You know, Deep Sea Tycoon 20 years ago, where you'd build an underwater city. Wait, that's actually sick. Wait, I'd play that. Remember something about floating cities in a series called Pendragon? The entire ecosystem was based on hydroponics and hydroelectric energy. Still has a very fantasy feel. That's cool. I like that, actually. That's really cool. Working your novel. Excellent. Do you think it's okay to DMPC just to roleplay and heal? I think that the idea of DMPCs are absolutely fine. The people have a problem with why you just said, is it okay to DMPC? As if saying DMPCing is naturally bad. Is it okay to play one to heal? I think it's just another NPC. And if you do it improperly, people and like are overbearing and whatever, people accuse you of DMPCing. But if the character feels right, no one knows that they were even in like an NPC to begin with. So no, I think that's fine. If your group needs a healer, fuck it. Put in a party member that's a healer. Dude, I learned this lesson when I played my Star Wars game and I only had 2 players, and I had a whole I call it Mass Effect style D&D. It's what I've like the phrase I like to use for it that I've designed, because it's a game style where you recruit NPCs that you like and you bring NPCs on adventures depending on what you need, and it works really well with a small party. So my 2 players picked, like, they had an understand, because people say like, well, why don't you just pick take everyone on every mission with you? It's like, because as a player you have to have sort of like, no one in Mass Effect was sitting there being like, oh phooey, why can I only take 3 other NPCs with me and now I'm down here, I would want to take my entire crew, it's just unbelievable, my immersion is broken, I'm now aware that I'm playing a video game and that I'm sitting in my underwear in my basement with no job and my mom won't cook for me anymore and I'm a loser and I've been taken out of my in-game identity as a gallivanting space superhero. Like chill. No one was saying that. Everyone was just accepting that the mechanics were balanced to have a certain amount of NPCs come with you. And the same thing I think it can be true in D&D, where you just kind of know that you're only supposed to take like 2 or 3 NPCs with you and then whatever. So no, I think it's fine. Absolutely. My husband does exponential falling damage, so flying during combat is very, very dangerous. I like to do the similar thing. So I don't have a good calculation for it, but I have it. Well, actually, no, it's not exponential, but it adds up real fast. I start at the bottom of like where it adds up a lot faster, and I do 5-foot increments. But it's like, you're like, oh shit, wait, that's actually like a lot. You know, it's like a D10 past like 10 feet or whatever, some shit. Are the Mithara the unicorns of Eldara? If a player has some kind of interaction with them, shit will go down. The Mithara are going to be connections for me narratively, Oda. Whenever I have a Mithara present, it is going to be an important connection to something deep in the lore, right? They're just naturally, they are the most well-versed and knowledgeable of the old ways. They're the most elder race of all the Telarians. They have the longest tradition, the longest like myth. Like you can almost look at like their myth and their history and whatnot is something that a lot of other, like the Elvish creation myth, the Elvish myth, the human like myth and story, whatnot, all kind of like reference to it. It's kind of like, you could almost think of it like Mithara, like kind of Old Testament-y or whatever, or like ancient world, like anciency or whatever, like Anunnaki shit or something like that. Like they have like this connection. Like they have like, people kind of look at the Mithara and be like, yeah, they were whatever we all believe, the Mithara were kind of here doing like this thing like before any of us. So if I were to invoke Mithara, it'll be very intentional. You're not just going to casually see a Mithara walking around unless I want you to think that you're somewhere spectacular. where it's like, oh, we're in this like art exhibit, and there's all sorts of nobility and dignitaries, and oh my god, there's like 3 Mithara over there talking with some imperial whatever. You know, balance issue can always be fixed by another ogre showing up. Atari 2023. Yeah, exactly. I never have a problem balancing anything, because like this is what I don't sympathize with the argument of needing to balance everything super hard, because I just balance things on a fly in my own games, which also makes me really bad at it. I think either really good at it or really bad at it. So we'll see how my natural balance affinity is, and if people agree or think it's terrible. But I always just sort of say that I'm going to create cool vibes and cool ideas, and if you think it's overpowered or underpowered, then balance it up, bro. You know? So realistically, 8 people in a mission is overkill for most of the missions in Mass Effect. Yeah. There's lots of reasons for it, but I like Mass Effect style D&D. I like it. My players in my Star Wars game, their favorite part of the game, basically, from what I've interpreted, is the NPCs that they met. It's like, what's your favorite thing about Relics of the Force? And Ella would say like Yame, Arya, and Sebek. And those are all 3 NPCs. And Scholar. He was an NPC too. I asked Dashto what his favorite thing about the game was, and he'd probably say something along the lines of his ship, the Snap Devil, and then the crew as well. Maybe the soldiers that they had, their public soldiers or boars or whatever. And that was a big insight for me that people attach to characters. It's easiest for us to do. When we read stories or whatever, there's like a cool story about a cool thing that happened, but it's the characters that are important and that matter. You know, it's why people have a natural tendency in like D&D to try and focus on their character story too much, because it's their way of interfacing with the world. I think anyway. So when you have a D&D game with great NPCs, your party tends to gravitate towards them. And I think that if you do it, like, I think people are kind of scared to do it, because I think that there's a lot of horror stories and a lot of maybe like, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of stigma against putting in like active NPCs that the DM is playing, because there's times when it's gone really badly. But I never want to throw out an idea being good in a game, or like game design, world building, whatever, because some people are bad at it. Right? Like there's an idea that sort of, you could say, well, if people are bad at it, it means it's harder to execute, and therefore it's not an idea maybe you should make totally widespread, because then people are going to execute it improperly like they always do, and then it's going to be bad, and whatever. Sure. That's a line of logic that I can sort of get behind a bit. But what I would say is to be more ambitious and try and figure out how to regulate systems and design a thing. Like, there's no guide in 5th edition for how to have NPCs adventuring with your party that I know. Maybe there's a paragraph, I don't know, but and it might be in the form of like retainers or hirelings or like your squire or whatever, but there's no idea that's sort of in the DMG that everyone that I can remember that basically says, if you've got a party of 3 people and you balance really well for encounters of 5, here's how you introduce a cast of NPCs that your party can take with you. And it doesn't have to be all on your shoulders. Like one thing that I did in that Star Wars game is I got very exhausted RPing was fine. I don't get exhausted RPing multiple characters. Sometimes when 2 NPCs are talking with each other for like 5 minutes, and it's a little like weird, it's a little like, it's like a self-aware moment. But my players never minded it. They always liked it. They always liked when 2 NPCs would banter or talk or argue or whatever. But from a combat standpoint, it was a bit exhausting to have to do like, 15 Sith whatever plus, the 3 NPCs they took with them and try and combat the entire thing out. My players didn't mind it. It was just exhausting for me. So what I did with our game in the D&D game we played, where I had Ella playing Amelia, and I gave her squire Natalie, who was to help balance everything up, and also Ella does really well when she's a minion. I had Ella mechanically play Natalie in combat. So Ella would say, okay, Natalie's going to go over here and, slash this guy, action surge, throw him off the fucking cliff or whatever. So she had to play two characters. And for experienced players, that's not an issue whatsoever. People might think like, oh my god, I don't want to think about, I can barely manage my own character in game. I don't want to think about another character. It's like, okay, sure. Fair. But I think that people who have been playing D&D a little bit, a veteran can play 10 characters in combat and not, get exhausted by it. Right? So, It's one thing you maybe want to hand off to a more experienced player, especially if it's only one they have to learn. I think anyone can do that. So you say, hey, you're gonna play a rogue in combat. Also, if you guys ever take one of these two NPCs, can you manage their character sheet and play them in combat? I'll control them outside of combat, obviously, whatever. But like once we get into it, can you roll for them and do all their stuff? And the player's like, sure, cool, it's good, it's easy, it works out. So it's never usually an issue in my time doing it. But then you get accused of making a DMPC, and people don't like that. National Series kind of a West Marches campaign where one PC is the same throughout. Kind of, yeah. You have to look in Tasha's College and everything for sidekick rules. Is there actually a thing in there for that? Like, are the sidekicks like full on, characters, or are they just like little minions? Because when you're talking about balance, like these were full characters that I was making. There was Ella's Padawan was like a Jedi 2 levels lower until she like became a knight, and then she was at the same level as Ella. Calypso was a scout sniper who's whatever. Sebek was a scoundrel. Bors was a soldier. Scholar was a Sith. They all had classes, and I had to design it. So you have to know the game really well if you want to be a DM that does this stuff and makes these NPCs. But I think it's pretty easy. Think of it like making a Baldur's Gate 3 character, right? It's pretty chill. But yeah, I don't know what the Tasha's rules are. Most people, I feel like they space out during damage counting of other players, so having 2 characters to control might give them something to think about. Interestingly, I think you're right. Like there was a level of investment in combat where people were anticipating doing something more often when you do this. I've only done this with a D&D party once, but they all played like a knight and their counterpart from a tournament that they were doing. There's like them versus whatever, and they all had to like basically make their character their knight in this tournament, and they also had to make their counterpart. So they had to play 2 characters in combat. And so it was 4 players, 8 characters in total, and it was a cool thing. And their characters are not right stacked on the initiative order. Their characters would have different initiatives. They were always like super like into it, because they're like, okay, I got to do this, and then John goes twice, and then Mary goes once, and then I got to go again, and then John goes one or whatever, and then you figure it out. It's pretty cool. Gives you NPC classes to apply onto a CR half creature. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, so that's cool. That's awesome. I'm glad they have those rules. That's really dope. But it's just not quite what I'm getting at. But I'm glad they wrote that. That's actually really interesting. I like that. Like I don't have many reasons to ever go to Tasha's. No one's ever really said that there's anything in there that's like super unique mechanically that I've been very like, ooh, I should get Tasha's for that. But that's actually really interesting. So delegation, yes. Otherwise, if I had to track 10+ initiatives, I would go group NPC actions more as a loose swarm and fall off from the initiative order. Yeah, it wasn't like, it was a bit exhausting, but it wasn't that bad, I found. If I had to keep track of, I had 2 players in the Star Wars game, and then usually 3 NPCs, and then 5 bad guys in an average combat, let's say 5 on 5. It wasn't bad, honestly. I don't know, because enemy actions are so simple, and for me, player actions are so obvious. Like I never relate to somebody getting to their turn and stressing out over what they're gonna fucking do, and like not knowing what they're gonna like. It's like a very snap calculation for me of like, what's the battlefield? But I'm also paying attention to the battlefield the entire time, because I'm role playing whatever, I'm managing the enemies and doing all this. And maybe if you're like zoning out and not really giving a shit, then you're like, you kind of zone back in and you're like, oh, wait, what, who's where? What are we doing? Oh, do I want to fireball that guy? Ah, shit, I don't, like, sure, I don't want to accuse everyone who takes time in combat to like, who doesn't know what they want to do in combat of not paying attention. But, it's one of those things where sometimes I've noticed that it correlates a lot, but I would never accuse anyone who has a hard time paying or hard time acting in combat of not paying attention. That'd be unfair. So, mage expert in the warrior class is interesting. Been using I go, you go turns where they had to plan out how they want to attack to best showcase their abilities. That's cool. I like that. I like that, Baz. And keep being a PC. Sure, why not? Fuck it. Do it. I like Tasha's variant rules for some classes allows you to play something that may have had a history of being X class without being your first time or something. Yeah, I'm wondering how many of those changes are going to make it over to D&D next beyond 2.5.01 2024 redo edition copyright Wizards of the Coast 1999 Gary Gygax Games. Whatever they're calling the new fucking edition this year. I'm curious to see what rules that they take from like Tasha's and like I don't want the new edition to be so different that I can't like recognize it, you know, but I hope they take some of those upgrades and pump them out. You know, won't really matter to me. It's more of a player issue because like the thing is the rules mechanics of the actual game, unless they're changing some stuff like how advantage or combat or skills or AC or checks calculate. I'll be honest, the new edition of D&D doesn't mean a fucking fart in the wind to me. Because how a class works, I don't know how classes work, dude. Like, of course I know how classes work, but like, I don't know the minutia and the small little stuff. I don't read every class. Like, I expect the player who's playing a class to know that class better than me. I'm never going to ask you, like, hey, do you want to do this thing in this situation? It's like, you do have advantage on this attack, you know, because whatever. So do you want to use, like, I'm never going to do that. I don't fucking know how your class works. I don't care. You tell me how it works, dog. Like, I'm managing the entire rest of the game, the entire rest of the world. I reserve the right to know nothing about how your class works and expect you to know everything. And it's like, you tell me when you have advantage. And then, you know, the common complaint with that is like, oh, but what if your players need help? And I'm like, if you've been playing your game, like, I'll learn your class for you if it's your first D&D game for like 3 weeks. After that, you should probably know how your class works. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, if I see you making glaring mistakes, you haven't gotten something, then I can like try and help you out. But, you know, I'll give players like a couple months usually. 3 weeks is an understatement. I'll give players a couple months if they're brand new to help them out with things. But like an experienced player, dog, I'm not learning how your fucking class works. You tell me. You tell me like, hey man, I can do a backflip over this. I can rip off this guy's, you know, nuts and juggle them and throw them as flaming projectiles to this guy, and then, you know, use the glare of my dagger to blind that guy. And when I blind a target, I get attack of opportunity with my, you know, shoulder cannon that I'm gonna then do a backflip through and extend the shoulder beam to, you know, hit the chandelier above me, come down onto the board that I conjure with my mage hand board creation to fly up in the air, do a backflip and explode with rockets to kill everyone in the room. I'd be like, damn, cool, sick. You know, I'm not worried about players like cheating, you know, and being like, oh, I have advantage here. I'm like, all right, do you? You know, and it's like there are a couple times when I've had to ask a player, hey, how does that work? And like one encounter really got broken because the most recent thing I can think of is an encounter got broken because I said, they're like, okay, I get advantage on this attack, right? And I was like, why? And they're like, well, because I'm in combat with it and the spirit weapon is on the other side of him, so I get the flanking rule, right? And I was like, I looked at the cleric, I'm like, does your spirit weapon count as flanking rule for flanking rule? And they said, yeah, I think so. I was like, oh, okay, then I guess you have flanking. Sure, go for it, man. Get that advantage strike. Which later on, I was like, I had this like kind of itch in my back of my head. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And I looked it up, and yeah, it doesn't give you, the spirit weapon doesn't give you flanking. And I had to say then, I had to be like, hey, unintentionally we did this wrong. But I never, like, that wasn't a player like manipulating the system or anything, you know. So calling it D&D, it honestly, you should have called it 5.5 is effectively the same base 5 without some tweaks. Yeah, okay, lame. Also delegate the players to another player and have them help with level ups and mechanics. That's what I do. You know, one of my players in my current game, Limit, he's not brand new to D&D, but he's newer from my impression. And I was like, hey, Jackie, can you just help him with his rogue? Like, cool. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to think about your class. I don't want to learn your class. I don't want to figure out what you're doing. Can you, other player, help them? Great, cool. See ya. You know, and that's it. I like better if I do something that your class could benefit from, such as an opportunity attack, and you don't notice it's not on you 9 or 10 times. Yeah. You have to be careful though, because if those delegate their own delegates, then you have a player pyramid scheme happening on the other side of the table. I would give bonus EXP for that. Yep. I would allow for it. I'll allow for it. You know? So we got through a bone. They were going to wait through a trap-filled hallway. So the hallway, one player has a cape of momentum. Oh, okay. So they just, yeah, that makes sense. They just avoided the entire fucking thing. Damn dog. When your trap gets overthrown by one player in a cape, that's the DM experience. Either way, hey, I gotta end stream about 15 minutes early, so we're a little shy of 15 minutes, but I have to go for a haircut, so I need to end stream a little bit early. I go for a haircut, do some work, do a couple things, go pick up the puppy. She's also getting a haircut today, a little trim, so she'll be a little bit less gremlinoid. But hey, requests are tomorrow. The thing is up in the Discord. I'm gonna be rolling the requests after D&D tonight at some point in time. I don't know when, but it'll be a thing. So I'll be rolling for some requests. I don't know, 9 or 10 p.m. my time, and then doing some shit. And then we're gonna do this tomorrow. It's gonna be dope. So if you want to have a character done, go do that. I guess brief description, nothing too much. Penguin, what's up, bro? Thank you for the 34 months for 34 months for tier 2. Oh, you missed it, man. Come on, bro. You didn't miss anything. What did you miss? You missed a pyramid scheme, memes, OnlyFans, and look. You want to know? Okay, you want the TLDR of what you missed? You missed me here. Look at it. It's my world map, my shitty version of my world map on a globe. There it is. Look how cool it is, bro. All right. You caught up on 3.5 hours of Twitch stream. So anyway, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Seriously, thank you for the thanks for sticking with me, Penguin. I'm truly honored by your presence and it means a lot to me, bro. Thank you. Really. Fuck, man. That's a long time. Okay, cool. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'll see y'all's later. Requests will be fun. Game on Tuesday, if all things go well. I reserve the right to cancel at any time for any reason. So does Fishy. So I never want to promise anything. But the plan is to play our very first on-stream Realms of Eldar game with my dear friend Fishelin for our very first game. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be awful and scuffed and amazing in all the same ways that it usually is on stream, hopefully. So have a great rest of your day. Go play D&D. If you're not watching Critical Role tonight, what are you doing not playing D&D? The only excuse I accept for not playing D&D on a Thursday night, which is D&D night of the week, is if you're watching Critical Role. Then I'll call you a simp critter, but I still accept that excuse. So go play some D&D, have some fun. Catch you guys later. Until next time, my friends. Farewell.